All right, good morning, everyone. Welcome to the Market Prep. I hope you're having an amazing morning. Hopefully, you guys had an incredible weekend. Good morning, Peter. How you doing today?
Hey, good morning, Carlos. Came down with a little bit of a cold over the weekend.
Ooh,
Fighting
ooh.
through that, but it's all right. These things happen. Hopefully, I'll be
Yes,
better in a day
yes.
or two.
Yeah,
But
hopefully feel
feeling a
better, my
little under the
friend.
weather this morning.
Yeah. Well, that was me last week, man. It got me just for one day. I don't. It was very weird, but hopefully you feel better soon, man.
Thanks.
All right, friends, quick look at our gappers list before we get rocking and rolling here. We got a couple of things in the red and in the green. So we'll dive into those. Very familiar names that we'll be talking about. A lot of news on some of these. But yeah, let's dive in first into our U.S. economic calendar, see what's happening there. And then we'll take a look at this gappers list.
Yeah, amazingly, there is like absolutely nothing on the economic calendar. Like normally there's a few secondary things, stuff that I don't want to, I just don't bother mentioning to you guys. There's like nothing at all on the calendar. So quiet day, which means that with earnings pretty much over, I mean, we still have one big one, right? Nvidia's coming up later this week. But we're going to be focused on the gappers list today because the economic events, don't count on those providing any market excitement today. Of course,
Yeah.
that being said, you know what? There's always the possibility of random, announcements or tweets coming out of the the Oval Office. So you never know, but nothing planned, anyways.
Yeah, I don't think anything is going to be planned, but yeah, I look forward to it. It's been just created a lot of trading opportunities for us. All this other madness, but yeah. Also, quick thing, Peter. Who do they ask? For example, Donald Trump's approval numbers are out. I never get questioned. I know there's agencies. I know you're gonna tell me that there's agencies that they go to similar people that represent you. So you're telling me it's another person just like me, my same age. He's a trader. He has 3 kids. He lives in North New Jersey, pays X amount of taxes, and he's representing me. In this world's technology, can we just send an inquiry to everybody? I mean, how simple is that? Or it's just we don't want to know the actual truth. I mean,
I
please.
don't know how they do it. I mean, I know they don't ask me. It's because I'm not an American citizen. But
Yeah.
we got a weird echo.
No, that was
But
mine.
yeah,
Yeah.
okay. Yeah, you know what? They've always done these polls with one of those representative samples that is accurate 99 times out of 100 with a 3% error rate. So if you can figure that math out, then
I,
I guess
I don't want you talking for me. I don't
yeah.
let
Well,
me tell you how I feel. It is what it is, and it's not just with
it,
the presidency. It's with everything. Like they post, okay, who did you ask? Because you didn't ask me, and I feel strongly about this. So who did you ask? I don't know. Could be a lot of room
yeah.
for some swindling of the numbers, but nevertheless, friends,
Swindling of the numbers. Okay,
swindling.
all right. Conspiracy theories abound here this morning.
Listen, we are all about conspiracy theories over here. Tinfoil hat all the way. We're going to wear those probably on Friday. All right, friends, let's
All
take a look.
right.
Gappers list this morning. What we got going on here? We got a bunch of things happening today. A lot of our Gapper stuff, we Gap Up, we know pretty well. We've been watching these tickers for a long time. So let's dive in and see what was looking good today. So first one leading the way is going to be MLGO. We've seen it in the past, has not been on a list in quite some time, but today they're here. They're up 17% and usually a very high flying type ticker. Hopefully there's news that can allow this to be tradable for us. Flow is a little bit on the low side, 9.7, but I gotta admit, I think this is one of the tickers that we have I haven't traded, but our community has traded in the past. On Friday, they had a big day, Peter, if you look at it here. So it looks like they had a really nice day on Friday. And for a low flow of 9 million shares traded, this looks pretty good. I'm not gonna lie, this looks pretty clean. You don't got no significant drops, especially at the market open. Not bad for a 9.4. So Peter, any news on this one today?
Well, if the objective of Jensen Huang, the CEO of Nvidia, if his objective in making his statement that quantum is 15 to 30 years away was to try and cool that market off, I think he's failed, because it seems like quantum is like AI was 6 months ago. All you have to do is mention quantum in anything, and your company gets a little bit of a boost and an opportunity. Microalgo, sorry, which is this MGLO, mentioned that they MLGO, sorry, mentioned that they have developed what they're calling a hybrid classical quantum algorithm to optimize multi-query problems. All right, a lot of big words there. What does that mean? Basically, they're combining traditional compute methodologies with quantum methodologies, which I don't understand the difference other than I know they're different, apparently to solve multi-factor and challenging problem solving. So it looks like that's caught the attention of the market, and we can see MLGO moving up here this morning. It's one of those where it's the second article that I was reading this morning about this was suggesting that if they actually manage to perfect quantum algorithm methodology utilization, the so-called challenging or very difficult algos that they use to mine Bitcoin, for example, could become significantly easier. So there is a theoretical knock-on effect that it could make crypto mining significantly easier compared to now, where it's supposed to take lots of compute power and take lots of time, and it gets more challenging every time there's a halving in Bitcoin, right? We probably generally know about that, but again, that's theoretical at this point. Nobody's actually managed to make that process easier. However, this announcement out of Microalgo gives some hope that that may be on the horizon. And I said the stock is benefiting. So, Carlos, like you said, we've seen this one on occasion. Usually it's like earnings or some random AI type news. But today, they're throwing around the quantum buzzword. And look at the volume, over 14 million shares traded this morning, and getting a pretty, good 13% bump here. So definitely in play.
Yeah, I like that. I like the news on it. I mean, this can really be high flying today. So it will be on my list. I'll put it on here. Again, I know it's a low float, but I feel like this is one of the cleanest low floats that I've seen in my history here of trading. So let's see what happens. All right, at WRD, we have a very interesting daily. Look at this ticker name, man. We Ride. I mean, what a ticker name. I like that. We Ride. Peter, me and you ride. We ride this show. Yeah, I like that. I like this name. But
so
the daily looks ugly, man. Gap up, sell off, gap up, sell. What's going on with this We Ride?
Well, Reride's been a funny one that we haven't actually seen it on our gappers list a lot, but it's been talked about a lot over the last 2 weeks. So this is like a robo taxi company out of China. The top two tickers here are both Chinese on the gappers this morning. But WeRide was mentioned because there was a number of different investment firms or pools of money, anyways, that were investing in WeRide, which sort of put them in the news. But it never actually moved their stock. NVIDIA was actually one of them, right? NVIDIA had reset their portfolio. And if you remember, they'd actually moved out of a couple of offerings and said that they were investing a little more heavily in WeRide. They weren't alone. There were some other houses that were putting some money behind them. It's interesting that this morning is when they've chosen to gap or actually hit our list. Like you said, though, I'd been watching it last week just to see what's going to happen. If you look at the daily chart, you can certainly see how it had moved right up. Like a week ago, right? Valentine's Day type of thing. I think that's when it started to move. Last week, then it lost some of that ground on these down candles. But the volume was dropping off very quickly. So I don't know. I don't know if the volume is going to come back today. Right now, I'm not feeling it, I have to admit, because even watching it last week, I just did not like the price action. I didn't like the way it moved. Most of the range sort of happened, I found, overnight. It looks nice and smooth. If you look at Friday, for example, it looks like a nice down day there on Thursday and then Friday. But in watching the price action on Friday, when I flipped to it a couple of times, it didn't give me anything that I really wanted to jump into. But that's just me. So who knows? Maybe today will be a better day. We'll have to see if the volumes, keeps up. Less than 1 million shares though so far, right? So it's not, we were just looking at Microalgo. I mean, it's 14 million shares. So different level of volume here we're talking. So
yeah,
make
absolutely.
your own decision.
And you bring up a good point. Like, yes, this looks clean now, but if you really start looking at like the number of shares being traded here, this is 85 million shares on a 5 minute candle. That if you're looking at that live, that does not trade well. So yeah, we need more volume than that. Yes, it looks clean now, but I'm sure it wasn't pretty watching it actually happen. So won't be on my list, Peter. If it hits the scanners, we can always take a look at it, but I don't like it for right now. Let's see what else we got going on here in the gap up. We have a couple of crypto Bitcoin tickers on here. We got Riot, we got Hood, we got, I thought I saw some other ones, but maybe not. But Riot and Hood are both here today. Riot, they're gapping up 3%, 683,000 shares traded. Again, I don't really see them heavily in play. They had a nice red day on Friday. Today, they're just bouncing back from from that sell-off. Anything going on with these two, Peter, that might be connected to Bitcoin or anything else individual?
Well, Bitcoin's always always likes to move over the weekend. That's when crypto makes its biggest moves. And right now I'm seeing it sitting at about 90. Let's call it $96,000. It's sort of just below 96,000. And it's been hanging out in a very tight range for Bitcoin, actually, sort of between 95.5 and 96,000. All weekend. So it really hasn't gone very far. So there's not a lot of movement there that really sort of calls it out to me. Last week at the close of the week, like on Friday, it looked like it was going to be hitting over 100,000. It was sitting up around 99, and it looked like it was going to go higher, but then it dropped quickly, sort of Friday night, and then I said got into this pretty tight range over the weekend. So nothing to talk about there. So I don't know why. So the crypto stocks seem to be fairly quiet. On Robinhood, they specifically have some news that, if you remember, and we talked about this last week briefly, but the SEC has been closing a couple of different investigations that they had. They were investigating Robinhood's crypto arm, thinking that they were not appropriately meeting the regulations. Now, as a traditional broker, I guess I can call them that, sort of, right? Like, because they've got to follow sort of all the traditional rules compared to a crypto only firm that doesn't have those rules. They unfortunately got targeted maybe a little unfairly. You can come up with your own conspiracy theories about that, everyone. But the SEC basically just closed their investigation with no action. They basically just completely dropped their lawsuit. And because last week it was Coinbase, if you remember, that they dropped it against. This morning,
Yeah.
or maybe over the weekend, they've come out and said, you know what, the same thing in Robinhood. We didn't find anything wrong, so we're backing off for now. So so that's good news for Robinhood. Could give them a little boost. Traditionally in Robinhood stock, it's a funny mover where these good news stories don't tend to translate into good trading volume and price action over the course of the trading day. Again, today
Yeah.
might be different, but usually, yeah, unfortunately, it doesn't really act well.
Yeah, it's funny. It does trade like a financial institution, more like one of these banks when it's not in place. So yeah, I don't like it either. I'll keep it off my list. We really got to see something explosive out of it, and I'm just not seeing that today. Let's skip on down to TEM. So TEM this morning, they are down 2.7, 688,000. Okay, pre-market activity. What's the float on this? 319,000. I don't think we've seen this before, especially in the last week.
Yep.
It has been very, very active. Peter, today they're making some noise. What do you think about these guys today?
Well, yeah, Tempest AI. Sorry
Yeah,
about that.
no good.
The cold, every once in a while it'll jump back into my throat. All right, so
Yeah.
they're even in their name. They've got AI, right? Tempest AI. The news this morning. Look, we have to keep in mind the size of this company, right? It's not quite a low float, but I think it should be treated as a low float. Like they're sort of like, I don't know. They're almost pre-revenue. They have a little bit of sales, but I mean, they're losing more money than they have in sales. So, and they just have a ridiculous $10 billion market cap considering the size of this company. However, because they announced that they secured $300 million in seed funding for their genetics unit, which they're going to use to make some acquisitions, is what they've said. So I don't know what to make of this. It's sort of like 300 million when you're supposed to be a company with $10 billion market cap, really shows you the actual size of the company, right? Notwithstanding their valuation. So that always makes me nervous, right? When you're jumping into a company when they have an announcement like 300 million, don't get me wrong, that's a lot of money. It's a good investment base, but it feels like, it's probably not going to be enough to make this actively in play with the millions of shares we like to see for the trading to be really good if you want to be an active day trader, right? We're only sitting at 700,000 shares so far this morning. Yeah, feels like light news.
Yeah, I don't like it. Let's move on. We looked at right already here over our gap up and down scanners. Nike. Nike's on deck today. We'll look at, some Magnificent Seven here, Google and Tesla coming up. But let's take a look at Nike first and see what's driving these guys today. So we are up 2.6 on it, 856,000 shares traded. Has their earnings passed already? I think they had earnings, but don't quote me. But they had a big drop here in February, right back up to around 78.50. That's a good recovery in the last couple of days. So looking good here as far as the daily. As far as the intraday action, man, it's not one of my favorite tickers to trade. Peter, what do you have on them today?
Yeah, their earnings are on a very different cycle, right? They're very, very early in the earnings cycle, I believe, normally, because I think their next earnings are not. It's the end of March. I'm looking it
Yeah.
up here.
Okay.
It says March 20th. So, and I think that's sort of like the next quarter earnings. But I said it's sort of offset from a lot of companies. So that's not what is moving them this morning. Sorry, this morning there seems to be some news that they are sort of doing a little bit of a shakeup in the company, and looking to maybe take Nike in a different direction. Some of the analysts think that's a good thing, and in fact, they have two that I can see here, different analyst upgrades, saying that they like the direction that Nike's going in. They think that the new CEO is going to be, you know, driving some additional revenue and making it a good growth pick. I'm trying to find details of what is this change, right? What are they doing different? What are they going to be making? Are they producing like new, I don't know, new products? I don't know, but I'm not sure what that is. Just that there are changes in the company that they like, and that their product, they call it new product innovation. I don't know. I don't know what that's going to bring. So Nike is another one of these funny stocks that it is it's a funny trader, right? It does trade on the New York Stock Exchange, which means you've got to wait for the volume to come in. I've never really liked trading it, so I don't think today's likely to be much different. I hate to sound negative on everything here, but really, I mean, even pre-market here, despite the 800,000 shares, if you look at the actual price action, it's pretty spotty here, right? Like it's not consistently in play this morning. So it's great that the analysts have upgraded. It's great that they like the strategy. That doesn't feel like strong enough news for this to be an actively in play stock throughout the day.
Yeah, for a momentum breakout trade, which I'll be looking for in the morning, this is just not, it doesn't do well. And we've seen it actually with even better news than this, Peter. More volume,
Yeah.
better pre-market activity, and it has let me down a couple of times at the market open. So if you like it, put it on your list. I do like the daily though. The daily is really nice here. Possible breakout. You got a couple of levels up here. Maybe I'll put in a secondary just to watch it and see how that does as far as the daily goes. But it won't be the first thing on my list to go trading. All right, we got some good ones coming up here. I see QBTS. They're hopping around on the gappers list, but I did see Tesla. So let's look at Tesla, Google, and then QBTS. So let's start with Tesla. Tesla on deck right now in the pre-market. We are up almost 2%. We were in the red, so we're getting a nice little pop here into the green. Up 2%. We're down about 2%. 4.5 million shares traded. This daily, as you know, guys, has been very, very active. You can see it here as well. This will be on my list. You have to watch Tesla, Peter. Any news aside from all the action we normally just get out of Tesla?
There's lots of news on Tesla, of course, these days, because news of Tesla is all intertwined with news about Elon. And of course, Elon's in the news because of stuff that he's doing not remotely related to Tesla. So he's very distracted with his Doge responsibilities and all that he's doing there, and bringing his son to the White House, to the Oval Office, and all sorts of other things. You know, whatever, what doesn't really matter, whatever the news is, never count Tesla out, right? How many times do we have to have the proven history that, you know, every time you think Tesla's down and out, it finds a way to come back. Now, I don't know that that means it's going to come back today or tomorrow. You know, over the weekend, everybody's like, Tesla to 300 before you know it. Look out. It's going to drop through the floor, blah, 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 right? I mean, I was reading all these articles on the weekend about that, and look at it this morning, right? Jumping $10, $15 almost from 330 up to 345. So look, I mean, at the opening bell, it might drop to 300 for all I know, but I just, you know, be very cautious about picking picking a downward direction on Tesla, because this stock has an amazing way of bouncing back. That being said, there's a couple of bits of news about the company. Tesla did release a statement saying that they are ready to go forward with their self-driving taxi service. You know what they talked about? Their robo taxis, as they're called, in Austin, Texas, in June. So they're planning to actually put them on the street. So if you're in Austin, either you want to go out and, you know, hail one down, observe, or hide in a nearby building, whatever, depending on your opinion about them. But it's apparently the self-driving robo-taxis will be on the streets of Austin come June, which is still a little ways away, so things could change. We know Tesla doesn't have a good track record of hitting the targets that they set for themselves. That being said, you know, there was also some news out this weekend about their Cybertruck sales. Apparently have fallen off fairly significantly over the last little while. Now, this is unconfirmed rumors. The company didn't officially release any numbers, but people, I guess there's people that sit and watch, you know, the Cybertrucks, is like cars as they come off the production line, and try and count and figure out how many are actually coming off versus their production numbers. Feels like a pretty remedial way to do it, but whatever, you know, I guess people with nothing better to do, that's what they do, and say that they believe that the Cybertruck numbers are down significantly. We'll see. The other bit of news was that there is some investment coming. Now, this is news from last week, but apparently the Tesla's secured. This was a weird one. I only found like 3 different articles on this, and I couldn't find what I felt was like official confirmation. But apparently, the U.S. government has agreed to buy hardened Tesla trucks for the military.
Yeah,
They're
I
supposed to
someone
be like
mentioned that last week in our community.
armor-plated
Yeah,
Teslas.
yeah.
I saw the article, but I thought, if they did, why didn't Tesla get a huge bump out of that? Or did they, like, is this like
Oh,
real
because
news? Is it just a test thing? Like, I don't know. Anyways,
they're probably not gonna get a great
but
deal on that. It's probably gonna be so expensive to make, man. I mean, how much are they
yeah.
actually gonna make on that, right? It might be just a wash and
Well,
a
that's
tax
and I
something.
think so. And you know, in the room now, I'm getting a bunch of different comments about the contract was canceled or conflict of interest, or say I remember seeing that news a while back. Maybe somebody just recirculated it because of the Doge cuts, and they were using that as an example of conflict. Those that like to, you know, throw stones. I don't know. Like, I actually don't know the situation. It's just weird that article sort of resurfaced. Because yes, there's all sorts of potential challenges, of course, with Elon's current situation. But it seems to me it is probably a false reporting at this point, because if there really was a big contract, that would be great news for Tesla, and the stock should get a bigger pop. But I don't know. Anyways, look, whatever's happening, you know, again, my advice stands: don't count Tesla out. Like, it's in play. Up or down, it's going to be moving, and you know, it's risky to just assume it's going to be, you know, going straight down, because this thing never does.
Yeah, yeah.
So,
Bo is saying Tesla prepares to deploy full self-driving features in China. Yeah, that's gonna be big. I mean, guys, I done it. John, you heard John in chat on the full self-driving on Tesla. It is nice. Like, it is real nice. Like, yeah, if I had this when I was commuting, it would have been amazing. I mean, there would be so much more happy hours. It's out of control, you know. So yeah, it's really nice.
yeah.
So let's take a look at the next one. Here is going to be Google. Let's take a look at Google here, my friends. We are down, up 2%, 880,000 shares traded. I mean, yeah, we got a pop at 8 o'clock. I'm not sure if that's news driven, Peter, on Google. Again, this stock I want to trade it more than what I do right now. It's just usually when it's moving well, there are other Max 7s moving a lot better. But Peter, what news, if any, could just be bounce back from the sell-off on Friday, right? Because if you looked at Friday, quick look at the SPY while we looked that up, we did have a nice sell-off on Friday, right? So we kind of sold off from the close to our all-time highs here, are bouncing back a little bit today on the SPY. So I'm sure a lot of tickers got this very similar chart, just like Google does, right? So could be nothing major, but we are getting it on our gappers list today.
Yeah, well, there's a couple of interesting pieces of news on Google this morning. So let's talk AI. AI is usually the exciting one that people love. So the Google has created a pay-per-use AI model. It looks like that you can get access to. So if you want to generate AI videos, we've seen a lot of these, and people have done that just to demonstrate the capability of AI. But Google, I guess, is going a little wider and saying, look, you can now get active access to what they call their VO2, VEO number two. VEO2, which you can use to generate AI video at a cost of about 50 cents per second. So what's significant about that is if you leverage this, you could create, for example, you could create training videos for your corporation, right? That are very tailored, that could have your information, and it could look like you've done a recorded live training, but it would really just be AI generated. This could be used in video game production, right? So you could produce video games. In theory, you could use it to produce movies or movie shorts or other activity like that. So for them to sort of say, we think it's sort of mainstream ready, this Google's AI video generation engine is significant, and 50 cents per second is pretty accessible, isn't that? So imagine you're just paying, what does that come to? It comes to like 30 cents a minute, $30 a minute, right? That'd be cool. I'd produce a couple of minute video for $60, right? Me doing some cool stuff. Maybe I could video shot myself with some abs doing some really cool stuff. I don't know. Anyways, but that was the AI news. So that's interesting. I mean, it's not brand new, by the way. Google announced that they were going to be producing this and putting it out there in December, right? Last year. It was just over the weekend they announced sort of a pricing model for it and its general availability. I didn't actually look up how you get access to it. So anybody's out there and you got $30 to spare, or whatever, go, or $15, go make a 30-second video and send it to me. I'd love to see that. But in any event, the other news is a little more, little less exciting, I suppose, on Google. But they have sort of increased their service fees, or a convenience fee, for those that want to sort of make payments using their Google Pay model. So traditionally, like we all know Apple Pay, right? That's on your phone. There's a Google Pay, thing. They say they're now going to be putting. Oh my God, my voice is cracked. Sorry about that. They said they're going to be putting on what they're calling a convenience fee when you want to pay somebody like your electricity bill or your cable or whatever, your streaming service bill, using their service. They're going to add a convenience fee on top of the payment amount. So I don't know if that's going to really anger people, if nobody will notice, or we all just shrug our shoulders and say, you know what, there's convenience fees on everything. But they've said with their Google Pay, they're going to be adding that convenience fee on top of any services. So two bits of news that from a stock perspective are both good news, because they're both revenue generating opportunities.
Yep, absolutely. I'm still trying to figure out why Walmart doesn't accept Apple Pay. It pisses me off so much, because it's like you're a giant retailer. I come in there, I leave my wallet in the car. I don't even carry my wallet. And they don't take Apple Pay, Peter. They don't take Google Pay. They don't take any type of pay. You got to either have your card or you got to have their Walmart Pay, which who has Walmart Pay? Is that even a thing? Like, see, this is that old mentality thinking of a business. Reminds me of Blockbuster. Now, Walmart's too big to go bankrupt, but it just doesn't make sense at all.
All right. That's now that you mentioned that, I think I ran into that when I was in South Carolina last year, that they were busy complaining about their old systems and they didn't have the ability to do that. But Carlos, I'm pretty sure I went to Walmart in the last couple of months here, and like you said, I never carry a wallet. I'm pretty sure I
Same.
tapped my phone to pay
Not Walmart, not
here in
here.
Canada.
Maybe
I'm
over
pretty sure
there,
I did
but
it.
here it doesn't work. I've been to the line where I actually had to tell the person, hey, I can't use my Apple Pay here. And they said, no, you can only do cash or card or
Huh.
Walmart Pay. I'm like, she's like, you can download the app and get the Walmart Pay. I'm like, I'm not doing that. Thank you. Bye. See you later.
Yeah. Okay.
But I
So
needed that. So I
apparently
had to
in
go back to the
Canada,
car and get my wallet. Yeah.
yeah. So I
So
got
yeah.
some support from the members in the room. Apparently, yes, you can sort of tap. You can use Apple Pay in Canada, but
Oh,
apparently not
nice.
in the U.S. So how weird.
Yeah,
There you
it's
go. Okay.
just weird. Just weird. Such a big retailer that you can't do that. All right, so Google guys on deck. Let's hope it trades well today. My list so far, we have some good ones. MLGO, risky, be careful. We have Tesla, we have Google, and then secondary, we have Nike. They're doing some stuff today. Let's hope they move well here. All right, so that covers Peter. That covers our gap up. Anything that's gapping up that might not be on this list?
Well, we mentioned Tesla. I said it's moving up this morning. Quite nice move, actually, in the last half hour or so. So I think Tesla's going to be something to keep an eye on. We've got some mixed picture happening in the semis, but I just love the semiconductors. They're so much fun to watch. Nvidia, of course, is always in play and worth watching. It's doing its usual stuff this morning. Nothing special, but it is gapping green. AMD actually was moving fairly well last week, and the one that I still don't get, but SMCI, which was moving up over the most of last week, sort of had a down day on Friday. It is gapping down a little bit this morning, but let's keep in mind, what are we today? It's the 24th. Tomorrow's the critical day when SMCI has to submit their documents to the market regulators or risk getting delisted, right? So they've faced this delisting threat before and managed to sidestep it. They've said, though, right, that this is the day you need your papers in, all the documents we're looking for, or we will, stop the active trading on SMCI. So we'll see what happens. But there's got to be news imminent coming on SMCI, right? I don't know whether it's going to be today or tomorrow, or are they going to take it right down to the wire? But I don't know what time of day. Anybody know when tomorrow they owe that? Like, is it close of markets tomorrow, or I don't know when it is. But anyways, I just know that tomorrow is supposed to be the day. So SMCI might be interesting to watch just because of that activity and that attention. So, Carlos, those are probably the top ones I'd want to mention.
Yeah, I will add SMCI to my list because that has been interesting. Might not be on the main list, but it will be here somewhere just to see how that plays out. All right, friends, let's take a look at our trading terminals gappers list on the gap down side of things now. NBIS has been here a couple of days now. So, again, they're leading the gap down list. And, again, more weakness out of this one. We are down 7.6 right now, 1 million shares traded. Hard to borrow, SSR, so not ideal situation for us on this one. It's not a low flow. It's 186 million. So I'm surprised we don't have shares for sure with Interactive Brokers, but maybe the lack of volume. But as you can see here, some weakness, Peter, that we probably cannot take advantage of right now. I forgot the news. I know we spoke about it on Friday, or at least it hit our scanners on Friday.
Nebius. Well, Nebius was one of those ones that I think that Nvidia had taken or reduced their investment in a little while ago, which is one of the reasons why they've been dropping. I don't really see any news over the weekend. I mean, it looks like they might have had earnings. When was this earnings? This is Friday, though. Friday morning, they had some earnings reported. Go back to my reports. Have I got them here? No, I don't. There's not a lot of coverage on this.
Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, there's not a lot of coverage and listing on it, so I don't know what's going on.
Our members are having more fun with the wallet comment about me leaving the wallet in the car. And and that's actually not a good idea. The way things are now, especially if I'm going to Walmart, I should carry my wallet because hey, I'm American. I don't want to get confused and get thrown out. Things are tough out here, man. You got to be very, very careful. All right, so yeah, I should be carrying my wallet at all times. I will do that, my friends.
You know what, Carlos? I think you should just walk around. I want you with a money clip, just a money clip. I want you to be peeling bills off and trying to pay people.
I used to do the money clip before. Then you just stop using cash, right? I mean, everything is just so convenient with the cars. I mean, you should use as much. Yeah, right. Just a money clip and a couple of cars, good to go. All right, NBIS. I don't like this one, guys. I mean, is we're very handicapped on it too. Like we can't even short it, hard to borrow. Just too many things on here that I don't like. So let's move down to the next one, JD. And I do see a couple of really good ones now. You got JD, you got Baba, PLTR. I mean, Rivian. These are all going to be interesting. But let's start with JD and the Chinese tickers, Peter. This one is just taking a dive right now, 41 to 39 in the last couple of minutes. And then here we have another one on Baba, also down 137 to 133. So anything going on with our Chinese tickers?
Well, I mean, there's two. Last week, the Chinese stocks had moved up a little bit, which means that they're sort of target for moving back down. But also, there is increasing rumors out of the White House that Trump is going to be levying some heavy tariffs on Chinese imports, continuing to target the U.S. spending in China and hit those tariffs, which is and anyways, it's an interesting move. We'll see what happens, but we trade on speculation, and the fact that the White House is saying that they're going to continue to target Chinese imports with increased tariffs means some challenges, I guess, for those companies that do a lot of importing or rely for part of their revenue for the North American and U.S. markets. So again, these are all proposed. I don't think they've actually been implemented yet. I haven't seen anything new over the weekend out of the White House that specifically says what those are going to look like and that they're going to be implemented. You remember last time that any specifics came out of the White House, China immediately fought back and said, all right, you hit us here. Here's how we're going to push back and how we're going to hit you. So we'll have to wait and see. But right now, it feels like things are moving on speculation of increased tariffs.
All right, there we go. I like Baba, guys. As you know, it's one of my favorite tickers, so I'll have that one on deck. And then you can look at JD. JD is also moving actually even more than Baba today. Decent volume. Maybe I'll put JD on there as well. I think that news is going to drive things for sure this morning. So JD and Baba both going on my list, and we'll see how that plays out. Baba with 3.2 million shares traded right now, and this one has been again trading so. The move looks better than the actual trading has been, because a lot of the good trading has been happening after hours or pre-market, and usually we don't trade that time. All right. Next, another one on here, PLTR. So PLTR this morning, we are gapping down 4.6, 7.2 million shares traded. Man, this is not doing well, Peter. This is taking a very nice hit. It started all last week. As you saw here, we hit highs of 125 in that area. And since then, it's been highway to hell. And we're showing some weakness again today. Won't be surprised if we're below Thursday's low, which is right over here at 95.91 in a couple of minutes. So again, just not doing well as it continues to bleed here.
Yeah. Look, PLTR is unfortunately sort of on the front lines of likely cuts from the Pentagon. They've got a lot of government contracts for their technology, and they're easy targets. So the expectation is, as Doge continues to do its thing, that they're likely to have some of their contracts trimmed, which would affect their revenue profiles, of course, and their ability to hit their stated targets for the quarter and the year. So it's speculative right now, but the expectation is Palantir is going to get hit. So I would, it feels safe to say this thing is probably going to sink. That being said, it's probably not a straight line either, right? I mean, they still have a strong business, and rumors are, they're a little sketchy to try and trade, because there could be a rumor saying no, they'll be saved because it's a technology focus, that Elon and his team like, versus cutting some of the other hard services that typically they don't favor. So I don't know. It's a news driven drop. So just be aware that it could make it a little sketchy, a little choppy in its move. But Palantir is expected to see some reduction in revenues.
All right, there we go. Yeah, be careful on this one, guys. I know it's one that our community likes to trade a lot. But definitely, like you said, Peter, separate yourself from what's actually happening and what you think the news is going to happen in the tech company, because it's just not looking good right now in the charts. All right, let's see what else. I think we're good. Rivian is another one that's on here. We already talked about SMCI. You mentioned that earlier. It's on our gap down list today. Let's talk about Rivian, and then we'll head over to what you guys like this morning. Rivian right now, we are down 3.2 on it this morning, so a bit of a drop today. Again, we've seen it move quite a bit, Peter, even with earnings and things like that, but it has not traded well. At least I have not touched it. Even on Friday, you can see how messy this looks. I'll show you the 5 minute here. It's just messy. It's just very, very messy here. So I have not had any luck on this one. Well, not that I have tried to trade it, but I have not seen anything that I like on it. So won't be on my list today, but we're seeing some movement here this morning.
Yeah, I mean, they did get an analyst downgrade this morning. This feels a little reactive to some of the news that we had last week. If you remember, I think we talked about it, Rivian, that their sales numbers were down. Their forecast projected. Jeez, I can't talk. Their projections were lowered, and the analysts didn't like that. Also, they had a recall of a number of units. Now, I mean, look, all car makers have a recall at some point. In this case, they recalled about 17,000 EVs because of some brake issues. It wasn't like a mission critical recall that I'm aware of, but still, any recall is not generally good news, especially when you've got relatively small sales. So any recall, is a big cost for you. But that being said, I mean, Rivian still claims that they are, looking for record deliveries in the next quarter and year. They recently announced that, those Amazon vans you were liking, Carlos, that they're not exclusively going to
Yeah,
be selling those to Amazon. They're going to make them more readily or commonly available out on the market. So that opens new
nice.
market opportunities for them. So still haven't seen any of those here in Canada, but maybe they're around and they just don't service my
They're
neighborhood.
all
But
over here, man. It's like three or
yeah,
five running in my town at any given point. It's yeah.
there you
You're
go.
bound to run into them.
So
There might be one delivering right in the in front of the house right now. It's that
could
common
be. But anyways,
here.
so yeah, so I this feels like just a sort of reactive news to some of the stuff we heard last week, and maybe the downgrade is just getting a little more attention. So Rivian, will it be in play? It's a tough call. I used to love trading Rivian. It was a good trader for a period of time, but you got to make sure the volume is in, and that happens on very few days right now, like these days.
Yeah, yeah.
Very rare.
All right, friends, let's stop here. Lucky a man over on YouTube says, first time here, really enjoy the analysis, guy, and I get a community for life. Excellent, man. Welcome, first time viewer over on YouTube. If
Yeah,
you're
welcome.
on YouTube, hit that thumbs up. Really appreciate it. It does help us out a ton. I know the likes are only at like 110. So I know our thumbs were warming up for the week. We're having problems talking here. Me and Peter, we're stumbling, but we'll get fired up. Same thing with you, man. Get those thumbs ready to go. And we we'll love a thumbs up there over on YouTube. So thank you. All right, Peter, before we get to some other stuff here, anything you like on your end?
Well, from the gap down, there was only one that I was watching that I thought I'd mention. It wouldn't hit our list because it doesn't have the volume. But Domino's Pizza, DPZ or DPZ for my American friends, they had earnings this morning. They actually missed on revenue and on earnings. They earned 4 cents a share less than expected. Their revenue was $40 million lower than anticipated. So I mean they were pretty close, but they were just slightly lower. Not a big trader, but I always find it interesting when Domino's reports. The other one that actually reported this morning was Berkshire Hathaway. It's fun just because it's so absurd, right? So, and if you try and look it up, you got to look up BRKB, I think is the one. Yeah, BRK.B is the one that you actually want to look up, and because they've actually made the price reasonable. It used to be that Berkshire Hathaway shares were like, remember they were like $400,000 or $800,000 or whatever they were, like some
Yeah.
ridiculous price. So they reset it. I can't remember when it was. It was a while back. You can see they're only $480 a share now, so completely affordable. Go buy some Berkshire shares. But anyways, they had earnings once again. They're actually pretty light on their reporting information. They don't actually broadcast what they're going to do. Everybody's just like, they're going to make money. The fork. I like how the analyst forecast was about $4.40 a share. They actually delivered $6.73 a share. Like that's significantly over, which means either the analysts have no clue what's really going on with Berkshire, or Berkshire, knocked the doors off of it. Either way, they're making money hand over fist as they have been for decades.
Yeah, yeah. All right, friends, that is what we have. Let's take a look at what you guys like this morning, and then we'll head over to our community events and announcements. PLTR, yes, PLTR should be on my list. I forgot to add it to the banner there, but yeah, the PLTR is on my list. They're very active today, as you can look here at the pre-market activity, 7.5 down 4.4. Again, it's just having a really, really rough time. But yeah, PLTR is definitely a must given the news that's going on there. See how low they can go here. So PLTR in play. Unity Software. These guys were active last week, right? They had the pop here. So today they are down 3.6, 1.1 million shares traded. So they're getting very active in the last couple of days. Not sure, Peter. Your thoughts on you?
Yeah, I mean, last week they had some news, they had some upgrades, they had earnings. This morning they've issued a secondary offering, about 500 million in convertible notes. Not my favorite type of news to trade on, so I'd probably pass on Unity this morning.
Yeah. All right, we'll pass on that one. Let's take a look at what else, guys. WRD. We did look at that. We didn't. I personally did not like it. WRD. I mean, the day looks strange to me. Just not a stock that I will have on my list. Doesn't meet my criteria. It is in play today. So if you like it, definitely put it on your list. But it won't be on mine. But definitely in play this morning. I also don't like that the daily just gaps up, sell off, sell off. I mean, that could be fun, but again, the volume seems to be dying down, so be careful. It'll just get tougher to trade as the volume continues to die down there. QBTS, let's take a look at QBTS here from World Tourist. QBTS, yeah, we're up 1.9 million shares traded. There's a bunch of other tickers you can look at when it comes to this quantum play. IonQ, which has been not doing so hot the last couple of days. You got QBTS, you got, what's the other one? I forget, TR? I forget the other one.
QUBT.
QUBT. Yeah, so there's a couple of quantum, plays that you
Rigetti.
can do here. Can we forget about our friend Rigetti? My goodness. RTGI. Yes. No, it's RT.
RGTI.
It's RGTI. There we go. RGTI.
See what happens.
Rigetti.
Weekend, we lose it all.
Also going sideways. Hard to borrow today on Rigetti. So that goes on and off there. But yeah, there's plenty of other ones you can look at. QBTS seems to be the one that keeps hitting the scanner. I see some volume there. We'll see. Again, nothing really crazy as far as intraday action at the moment. So all right, good tickers, guys. We'll have to stop here and let's take a look at what our community is doing for this beautiful Monday. I see a few people asking us about our onboarding class. We'll let you know right now when and how that is happening. So give me 1 second and Peter will take it through.
Yeah, well, he's doing that, guys. Let me remind you, the summit is coming up, and this is we lovingly call it the world's largest live trading summit, and it is. It's a massive event. It's great. It's in Vancouver again this year, like it was last year. It's right at the end of March, so it's coming up. Like it's just a month away, and I can't believe that. But it's going to be a fantastic 3-day event, 3 days of learning, focus time with traders. We sell this thing out every year, so don't wait to get your tickets. If you can join us in Vancouver, we'd love to see you. It's a great opportunity to trading is lonely, and you're sitting at home, and you do this on your own. You're watching your terminals. I'm glad that you join us here in the morning. That's fantastic. But it's even better, sort of, as somebody called it once, this is their one time of the year to have some office days where they actually go into the office and they're able to sort of feel like they're part of that community in person, stand around the water cooler quite literally and have a conversation. So I am absolutely going to be there. The entire team is going to be there. We will all be converging on Vancouver. So everybody in the Bearable community, every part of our sort of on-air personalities will all be there live. We've got 2 full days of webinars. We've got a TEDx event at the front of it that's going to talk about just performance overall and how you sort of get better in life and apply that performance then, of course, to trading and everything that surrounds it. Again, I'm very excited about it. It's going to be a great event. I'm telling you, Andrew and the team, Mike, who's helping lead the coordination, they are putting a lot of work into this and a lot of money. It's a top tier event. I promise you will not be disappointed. So if you want to join us in Vancouver, we'd love to see you. Just go to our website, bearabletraders.com, and just click on the link. It'll give you the whole rundown of activities. You can see everything that's happening, including like the night events and the parties, and it's serious, it's fun, it's community, it's learning, it's got it all, man. So anyways, As you can tell, I'm a little excited. So it's going to be awesome. All right. What's happening today, though? Today in our community, we've got our onboarding class that happens in the evening. And during the day, for all of our members, you can get tips and tricks on how to leverage DOS. The DOS platform is great, but it's not always to figure out where everything sits and how to find all the different options to configure. Brendan's going to help you with that at noon, so go to the onboarding room. What's happening today, though? Today in our community, we've got our
that echo back, Carlos.
In the throwing me
that was
all right,
I muted Andrew for now. Hold on. Yep, good.
Okay, go. Sorry about that. So that class is happening at noon in the onboarding room, and then at 8 o'clock tonight is when we do the full onboarding class, where it helps you understand all that you can get out of the community. We'll talk about sort of trading strategy, how you can approach trading, whether you're just getting started or you're looking to reinvigorate your trading. Going to that onboarding class is a great idea, so hopefully you'll join Carlos for that in the evening. Also today, if you're part of our Peak Capital Boot Camp, which is a completely separate program, but it's an intensive 3-month learning process. Don't forget that if you signed up for a future boot camp, today at 1 o'clock, you have the opportunity to join sort of a pre-boot camp prep meeting that helps you sort of start to get up to speed. You can sort of do some pre-work, understand what you're in for, right? And then how to position for it, how to get ready. Everybody likes sort of the pre-work and wants to make sure they're ready to go when boot camp starts, which the next one will be starting in May. So we're doing these sort of every week just to get everybody ready. So if you want to join Mike, that's at 1 o'clock. That's at the Peak Capital Trading meeting room. So you got to go over to peakcapitaltrading.com to find that one. But again, only if you've signed up for a future boot camp. All right. So that's what we have today. I know we're running a little bit behind. So Carlos, we'll do a couple of quick levels. I'll quickly let them know what some of our moderators are watching, and then we'll get to the live trading, guys, which we do for the rest of the morning here from the opening bell right through to about noon.
Yeah, let's get some levels in. We'll do Tesla, Google, and Baba. Just these three, I think, are the best ones on my list this morning. So we'll start here with Tesla. Very easy levels, guys. You have the highs and lows you're surrounded by where the price action is right now. We'll mark the high of the day over here at 346.68. And we'll mark the low of the day around 331.43. Towards the bottom of that, just in case we go lower, we saw support here on the daily just about 2 weeks ago. It's going to be 325.67. You can see that right on there. So hopefully we'll see how that plays out. But right now we're back in the green. We're doing good on Tesla. Great volume. Really like this one today. Another one that's usually not on my list, but today it could be interesting, is Google. Let's see if they can trade well. They usually tend to be very choppy at the market open. High of the pre-market 183.82, so we'll slam a level there. Towards the bottom, we do have the previous day close, but our pre-market low is slightly above that. 180 is the pre-market low, so we'll mark that there. And then once you do that, guys, you're surrounded by the highs and lows of the last 2 trading days. I don't think you need to do much. We're back in this area where we've been chopping around back and forth. So let's see how that plays out. Let's see if we're going to stay stuck in here or continue to break out higher or lower. All right, let's do another one. Last one is Baba. So Baba's daily, incredible here, guys. The last couple of days moving higher and higher. Today, giving some of that back, at least after 9 a.m. here this morning. Low of the pre-market 133.80 is the low of the pre-market. The high is going to be over at 141.84. So once you mark those two, you're sitting here surrounded by the highs and lows of the last 2 trading days, and I believe we're not all-time highs, right? We've been a high before, yes. So off the weekly, we'll get some levels quickly here. 154 is really far out. Let's see if we find something a little bit better. Oh, here we go. There it is. It got one right over here off our weekly. It's going to be 148.31. So once you slam those there, you're all set on Baba. It's my favorite ticker. I got JD on the secondary. My favorite Chinese ticker. I got JD on the secondary just in case we get something going there as well. All right, friends, we are all set. I see Andrew's ready to go. Peter, you want to take people? We might not have time. For those in the chat, you can always see what our members have. Go ahead, Peter.
Yeah, we could do just a couple. Let me tell you what our live traders are looking at, because Andrew's coming on. He's going to be looking at Tesla, PLTR, and NVIDIA primarily. And then Brian, who's also going to be trading live, will be looking at NVIDIA, Tesla, Baba, and PLTR. So you can see Carlos has got his list at the bottom. Mine is similar to what it usually is. So, and then the rest of our moderators, like you said, Carlos, are posted in the room in the alert section for all of our members to take a look at. So, yeah. That's what we got.
Absolutely. Thanks, Peter. That was awesome. All right. Good morning, Andrew. You are back home, which is awesome. It's always good coming home no matter where you go and have a great time. There's nothing like a home shower, man. Peter, I think you will agree. There's nothing like that. First home shower, man, is
Sleeping in your own
awesome.
bed, always a
Oh,
good thing.
there's
Yeah.
nothing like it. There's nothing like it, man.
Yeah.
Andrew, you might be on mute.
All right. Good morning, everybody.
Now we hear you. Yeah.
Yes.
Okay. Now we got you.
Yeah.
It's so good to be back home. I saw in Chile some people that they were traveling for 6 months. They quit their job and traveled for 6 months. I just told them I can never do that. I travel a lot, but I need to go back to my home base and get the, clean clothes and just refresh and then go traveling again. I can never imagine like traveling 6 months in the mountains and different cities.
Yeah. There's
How's
nothing like
everybody
it.
doing?
Huh?
Yeah. How's
Great.
everybody
Good morning,
doing?
everybody.
Good morning, Brian.
All right,
Yes,
guys,
sir.
trade the part. We'll leave you
Welcome
to it. Have
home.
a great, great morning.
Perfect. Thank you so much. Yeah. So I did buy some TNA on Friday. I was on the plane actually. So IWM is trading at the 200 moving average. So it bounced back a little bit, but it looks like a dead cat bounce. I don't know. It doesn't seem like a very strong bounce on IWM. So you can buy TNA as the leverage ETF for IWM. So we are here to see if this bounce is going to get that. The TNA is more like a swing trading position, 5,000 shares. Screen share.
Okay. So I didn't catch that big sell-off, unfortunately. But
Yeah, I was actually in the plane.
wow, Babas, what's going on with China? China's been on a tear. Is this just profit taking, or is this on what's the
Yeah, it looks
news
like
on
it's
Baba that it's
overextended on
just
the daily chart.
dropping?
Yeah,
It's
looks like a
really run
daily.
out, but I mean,
Uh, what is JD doing? JD is a little bit better.
see what
Tesla,
yeah,
PLTR.
it's really extended, but Alibaba
PLTR
stock
is
falls
great.
after China tech giant pledges 52 billion in AI spending. Okay. There you go. That's spending on AI and people don't like it.
Isn't it cool to spend on the AI? I thought it's cool to spend on AI.
That's what it said. PLTR is still looking pretty weak. Oh, Tesla's dropping here. Not a lot of
Tesla.
not a lot of orders on Tesla quite yet. See what happens.
PLTR is at a very critical level. 2 days ago, low at 95.82.
Nvidia is reporting on Wednesday, so everybody on pins and needles. Look at this. Tesla's going to go red on the day. Yeah, PLTR. I'm watching Baba. I kind of like Baba for a possible short Rising Devil. We'll see what it does as we get closer to get into the open and see how volatile it is. The spread on it is not great. It's pretty wide. AMD could be interesting too. I mean, it's been relatively strong off these lows.
It's like a 110 is an area that it wants to hold. 110, 109 on AMD. It did
Yeah.
bounce back very still. Yeah, I like the order flow on PLTR, but PLTR, I've been losing money a lot on that. It's been very difficult for me. At least I'm getting it very wrong last couple of days. But the volume and order flow, I really love it. Today, just It was green in the morning, and then it sold off right at 6:55,
Yeah,
down 6% in the
yeah.
pre-market.
Got a lot of hodlers not hodling anymore. Diamond hands are crumbling.
Yeah, PLTR is
Here we go.
really
Ding, ding, ding.
popular among retail traders. All right, ding, ding, ding. All right, so PLTR
Watching,
setting off.
watching Baba here.
Ryan wants to short Baba at the pop. PLTR volume is crazy. WM selling off. Tesla, Jared went long Tesla. He's also strong, is staying above the VWAP. NVIDIA looks like a very, let's go NVDL. Let's see what we get with NVDL. Yeah, NVIDIA seems that it wants to
And
stay strong.
I'm short Baba, but I sure don't like the way it's jumping here.
So NVIDIA stays strong.
Here we go. It's going to cover some.
NVIDIA,
Oh, look at that. It's jumping, Jehoshaphat.
what are you trading? Which one are you trading? Baba?
I just shorted Baba.
Hmm. Yeah, I mean, I was looking at NVIDIA for
PLTR,
a
a
1 minute
good short.
waiting for now. Looks like I kind of missed the one line. Tesla seems strong. It wants to stay above the VWAP. What about TSLL? TSLL is a 2 times leverage of Tesla. Looking at it, Tesla looks like it wants to stay above the VWAP. No trade for me yet.
So I covered some of this short at 34, just under 134 on Baba. See what it does.
NVIDIA looks like it wants, yeah,
Want to come up
NVIDIA.
here. Q's and SPY are popping. PLTR is popping up now. I wouldn't trust this Tesla bounce.
Yeah, I wouldn't trust any of these. Like NVIDIA is super
Come
strong,
on,
but looking for an entry. PLTR is interesting. I'm taking a long on PLTR at 97. Taking it, I mean, yeah, I'm taking a long on PLTR at 97. Let's see if it can goes to 98, stays above the VWAP. NVIDIA is pulling back. Let's see PLTR stays above the VWAP or not. The stop loss would be if it lose the VWAP. So this 933 candlestick is strong. Let's see. As you see, Tesla didn't hold it.
no.
User dropping. SPY rejected really bad. Short is
Tesla's
short
right at
NASDAQ.
PDC.
Let's see PLTR. My average is 97.37. Let's see if it closes above the VWAP. It looks like it does. NVIDIA is also pulling back slowly. Let's see PLTR. I haven't partial PLTR yet. I want to see if it can actually close for 5 minutes green range breakup. Long PLTR, guys, at 97.37. Let's see if we can actually 5 minutes stays strong. So let's see.
Getting out of more Baba,
No,
134,
I'm
30.
PLTR.
It's not really selling off the way I want it to. So
Right, so I partial, guys, PLTR 98.39. Sitting the scanner as well. Let's see if we can go to, it looks like a 5 minute open range breakout. There you go, 98.63.
yeah, just
There you go.
and now I'm short at Tesla. See if it loses this PDC area now.
It's NVIDIA doing. NVIDIA rejected that, the revap. Anyone took PLTR with me, guys? PLTR is now rejecting there is 1 minute moving average, but it's pretty strong. Like 5 minute range breakup is very nice. Yeah, PLTR was very nice.
Here we go. Finally Baba gave up the ghost there. Here we are, just covering some more.
Yeah, PLTR. I might actually add a little bit on that on PLTR. Let's see. Yeah, I'm adding a little bit. Shit, I wanted to add a little bit earlier, but adding a little bit on PLTR. Popping up nicely. Let's see if 99. There's a moving average of 5 minute chart that's at 99.20. That could be a good area. Oh, perfect. Breaking of 99. Partialing some at 99, guys. Nice. PLTR was very nice, guys.
Come on, Tia. Come on, Tesla. Lose it. Just lose it, baby. It's just holding this PDC level.
Ryan, you are short Tesla.
I'm short Tesla.
Baba was a nice short as well. You could catch it, yeah.
Yeah, Baba's working out real well here.
Let's see if PLTR stops me out or not. My average on PLTR is at 97.84. Hopefully it doesn't stop me out. Which it does now. Yeah, I'm getting a stop down on PLTR, guys. I'm all out of PLTR. Because, yeah, it passes my break-even point. Yeah, IWM and red.
Baby, go, Baba, go. Down, down. Just cover some more.
I'm shorting some PLTR here at 97. Let's see. I mean, although it's not a good short, don't do it. NVIDIA is going up. Getting a long on NVIDIA, NVDL at 63.22. Let's see what the NVDL is doing. NVDL long at 63.10. Let's see if NVDL can pop up. I'm short PLTR as well, guys, at 97. I'm actually getting out of NVDL. I'm all out of NVDL. Let me focus on this PLTR.
All right, I'm back in my break even on Tesla. I'm going to get out of that trade. Doesn't seem like it wants to pop up. Maybe we'll just keep an eye on it. I still think it goes. Think it goes lower
Yeah,
today. It's going to pop right now. It's going to squeeze. We're getting a bit of squeeze on stuff. I'm almost out of Baba. So
I'm covering my short on PLTR, guys, too. I'm covering my short on PLTR. It's just, yeah, I mean, I'm all out of PLTR. I'm all out of NVDL. So I had a good trade on long PLTR. This PLTR is a little bit tricky. It looks like it's trying to make an
Tesla's
engulfing. Oh, Tesla's coming off, huh? And Tesla looks like it wants to go higher, huh?
Fortunately, I don't have many shares left in Baba. So they've lightened up a lot.
Yeah, I'm all out of PLTR short, guys. The long was a really good trade. This short is a little bit scary for me. BD is also struggling. Really selling off. Jared, long Tesla, huh? Kind of stuck between
Shorted
these moving
Tesla again at the V. I shorted Tesla again at the VWAP. See what kind of rejection we get here.
Apple is doing nothing.
Here we go.
VDI looks like it might want to break toward 138. First candlestick turned out to be super weird doji.
Just going to cover some Tesla here. Selling those puts.
So NVDA wants to go. Yeah, NVDL. I mean, I'm out of my NVDL position, but NVDA seems like it wants to hold. DSLL, AMD, PLTR is holding this. Microsoft is setting off. Everybody's saying Microsoft on. Phil is, yeah, Microsoft is setting off. What's the daily chart look like on Microsoft? Oh, yeah, it broke down.
All right, I'm all
Microsoft is
all of the rest of Tesla. I think it's maybe going to get through the VWAP now.
So PLTR is going to go down.
Maybe. It's hard to say. That was a rejection. There's orders to the upside on Tesla that's making me nervous about being short.
What did you trade, Gary L, on PLTR short? Like now actually, I wish I was staying in my short, but yeah, it looks like he wants to break the S4. What a volatile stock! Like it's just unbelievable. Look at this move up and down. I had a really good day on the PLTR. Oh, damn, look at this. I wish I was staying short on that.
Is it getting destroyed? I haven't got it up on my screen.
Yeah, PLTR is getting really, really destroyed. Like I like to short it a little bit here, 94. It's kind of chasing it, but it looks like it really wants to go down. I'm shorting it for a scalp. Let's see. I'm chasing it, but it looks like it broke the very important level.
Shorted Tesla again.
Looks like to go down, huh?
In Tesla. This level here is they're trying to hold it.
A little bit more on my short on PLTR. 94.50.
Tesla just may end up being a bit of a dog's breakfast here, not just chopping.
Yeah, it's
Really
kind
got to
of
pick your entries.
Yeah, the problem is Tesla is kind of flat too. It's like really not gapping up or down. And
I'm just I traded it off the VWAP, and now it's Yeah, it's not gonna. It may just turn into be a dud trader today. Nvidia is pushing back.
Yeah, it wants to go to 138. It looks like it. All right, so let's see short of PLTR. It's gonna break it a little bit lower or not. Kind of chasing it, but we'll see. I have a chance to get out of it now. Do pull back. Or shelling it actually here, guys. I mean, that wasn't really. I'm getting out of it. That was not a good short. The risk to reward isn't there. If you get a pullback, yeah, if you get a pullback to 95, maybe it's a good place to short. But I'm getting out of it because the risk to reward isn't really there. It's probably gonna go lower. I think it's weak, but it's just I shouldn't have shorted right in the middle of that end of that candlestick.
Nvidia looks kind of interesting. Looks like it's ready to break out here. Qs
Oh,
inspire
there you go.
bouncing.
NVDA. There you go. NVDA popped
And
up.
out of this Tesla short. Let's get along a little Nvidia.
Yeah, NVDA. Yeah, there you go. NVDA popped up. Yeah.
Okay, well, my
PLTR.
best
Yeah.
trade today was BABA. Tesla kind of green, but
Oh, there you go. NVIDIA is popping up, going through.
yeah, there we go.
Yeah. Yeah, NVIDIA was nice. PLTR is going to go lower too. Again, PLTR, getting a risk to reward is super important, guys. Like I shorted like in the middle of nowhere and it wasn't really worth it. That's why I got out of it. Tesla wants to go low now. Your friend Tesla will.
All right. It's just hanging on to Tesla here. Or NVIDIA, sorry. Hanging on to NVIDIA. It's long.
PLTR
Selling
is
some.
going down. Nice. PLTR is now setting off.
Yeah,
Tesla
look at
is
that.
going down.
You Tesla piece of crap.
Well, Brian. Yeah, it's okay.
That's okay. That's okay. NVIDIA right now, we're rocking the Casbah here.
Yeah. PLTR. Look at PLTR. Did anyone took PLTR short? Did anyone stay in there? Damn. Oh,
Yeah, I knew it. I
shorted
knew Tesla
twice
was
and
going
I shorted twice and both I messed up.
to. Oh, Baba. But look at Baba drop. Oh, well.
Right, SPY is going down 600. IWM is still weak.
Yeah, Q's is SPY rolled over there.
Yeah, they might sell off Q's, Swirl, IWM.
Hmm.
PLTR is just still 10% down, 93. Yeah, PLTR might go to 85. Like honestly, this it might fill the gap. Not today, but it's very unlikely that the next couple of days go to 85. Looks pretty really weak.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. That's kind of what I was thinking.
Yeah, 85 is 200 moving average on daily chart, plus it's just a gap that it did. What was the gap? It was the earning on PLTR or was the news on PLTR? It looks like an earning gap.
Yeah, it might have been
So,
gap or something. Yeah, it looks like the SPY is going to go down to PDC here. Q's at PDC right now, and looking like it's probably going to bounce here. Well, I had to get out of back NVIDIA out of that. I'm partial to some, but had to get out of the rest at break even. A little slippage there too. Wow, that was a turnaround. Yeah, PLTR is getting absolutely destroyed. Same with BABA.
yeah, Baba down 10%. They're gonna start the uh, short selling restrictions soon on that. PLTR is also really good. I mean, again, guys, for me, PLTR, I had a really good trade on long and I shorted twice, and both of them I kind of got cold feet on that because the first one was a really good short, lost the VWAP, and 5 minute was becoming an engulfing. So the first short was nice. I wish I was holding on it. The second one was kind of in the middle of nowhere. I knew it was going to go lower, but my rules were broken. Maybe in this pullback would have been a nicer because now you have a better stop loss, but now it's gonna go down. Yeah, but it's okay. I prefer to watch this stock going into the direction that I was expecting, and I'm not being there rather than to take a trade that I wasn't feeling really confident. Especially when you trade size, you really don't want to mess up like this. Yeah, Nvidia is really selling off too as well. Like everything is selling off. SPY, Qs.
Yeah, everything's selling off here.
Yeah, IWM is also. I might add to my TNA position. Let's see what we're doing in IWM. IWM, if it goes below if it goes around 214, if there is this daily level, January 13, I might actually add some, maybe another 5,000 shares on TNA around this area for a balance. Well, Apple has been strong, actually. As a matter of fact, Apple has been super strong in the last couple of days.
Q's,
Even yesterday, even
Q's
Friday,
are
when the
selling
market
off.
was up. Yeah. Absolutely crazy. PLTR is just, yeah, 85. That would be, I don't know if today we're going to go to 85. That would be another 6% drop, although it's possible. The humanity.
Yeah, just shorting, or at least I'm long a put on SPY or SPX.
So by going long
So we
puts,
lost.
essentially Brian is short.
Yeah, so essentially short the market.
Feel 1500, nice trade, Phil. Yeah, Phil trades with the small accounts and options. Papa long, huh? Yeah, PLTR could be a. I mean, yeah, there is no level really here, huh? PLTR is all-time high. Yeah. I don't know if Word can get the long on PLTR. Maybe a clear double bottom, but really it's in a no man's land right now. Bitcoin doing 94. What's the strategy doing? MSTR. Yeah, MSTR is also going down. So back to the next level on MSTR is 284. Thor, what did you trade? Short NVIDIA, nice at R4. Yeah, it's very standard.
Yeah, that was a
Thor,
nice trade.
Thor, why do you have two R4? One of them is Camarilla, one of them is normal in your chart. Very nice. Apple, yeah, Apple has been super strong. Like even the market is setting off. Apple's really holding it. US dollar is getting strong. Next trade opportunity would be, I don't know, maybe a reversal on Tesla goes to S4. Yeah, Tesla, we have the low 325.24, which is back in February 11. That could be a possible potential reversal. I think it's very likely. Brian, do you remember that we wanted to sell some puts on Tesla? So happy that we didn't sell those puts. It's crazy.
That was
Yeah, it just keeps
that
selling
was
off.
your idea. That wasn't my idea. I
Yeah,
had
that,
nothing to do with that. I think Tesla's going sub 300. That's my long-term projection.
yeah. I'm glad that we didn't take that trade. Just kept selling off.
But I see absolutely no reason to own Tesla right now.
Yeah, so Phil is having a webinar for small account options trading tomorrow. Phil is adding some options, small account options trading mentorship sessions. It's just a weekly spot every Tuesday. What time is it, Phil? Yeah, 11 a.m. every Tuesday. So it's a good time for the people who want to trade on the options, but in a smaller account. Like Avi, for example, trades options, but he has big account, so he trades large share size. Phil is trading on a small account, like a couple of $1,000s. Oh, there you go. Tesla is breaking 330.
Yeah, Tesla's really breaking down through S3 here. Damn, I should have just stopped me out there on that false breakout.
I might take a reversal on Tesla at S4 325. Let's see if you can actually catch there. We'll
SPY
trade it
Q
through
still heading
SLN.
lower.
Yeah, I probably take a long through a TSLL, which is the leverage of Tesla. So it has a really good price action. So if Tesla hits 325, I might take a long on it. PLTR is still going down. Damn. Did anyone took PLTR short and stayed in there with me? This one is spot code. Yeah, I mean, I wish staying in there. PLTR very likely to get to 90. Again, 85 today it might be a little bit of a stretch, but honestly, nothing is impossible in these high flying stocks. Like dropping 16%, dropping another 5% is very possible. Very, very possible. Gonna go red. Tesla. Yeah, Tesla at S4 325 could be a reversal. I don't want to go short now because it's kind of middle of way. selling off. Yeah, IWM does the thing. Item 214. Again, I'm long at IWM. I think IWM is getting into a kind of a range. So maybe bounces back from this 214 area and then go back up to 226. So it looks like it's IWM is really nice in range bound trading. Paris, what did you trade? Short Paris, Tesla, very nice. Yeah, I like that. I was thinking of actually shorting Tesla as well, but I traded love you Tesla. Yeah, nice. Yeah, so if you want to see this Paris, I was actually thinking to taking the same trade. I mean, I'm good. Like I made $22,000 today, so I don't really didn't want it to be aggressive. But if you see my screen right now, so Tesla, um, so Paris did that's exactly what I was thinking, that this is rejecting too many times and the market is weak, and now it's a good risk to reward to short Tesla, exactly like Paris did. You can put a stop loss at the high of the day. Then as you see here, the first R would be previous day close. And if you break down, then you obviously get all of this stuff. But the first R is very important. The first target would have been definitely previous day close, because it was obvious that it doesn't have a lot of momentum. Same as NVIDIA, it didn't have a lot of momentum to go higher. So, and the market was weak, that would have been a good trade to short. Yeah, same Dash, you traded that as well. Yeah, very nice. All right, SPY is making low. Again, these are my position. You can see my screen, guys. I have 5,000 shares of TNA. I want to, wait a little bit to go lower, and then I buy the bounce. Yeah, Tesla potentially a reversal at S4. It's getting there. 325 is also a level. 325 is February 11th. So if you can get there, it could be a good area for a bounce. And again, I traded through TSLL, which is a 2 times leverage. So you get a better capital rate of return on capital.
Right up out of this SPX trade. Don't have to spend a lot of money on that one to make some good coin there. Wow. You just got to catch the direction right.
PLTR trying to find 9150. Nice, Justin. First day in the funded account. Nice.
Ooh,
Very nice trade. Yeah. Very nice.
beauty.
Patience, guys. Yeah.
Oh,
Funded account is
wow.
amazing to test your
Beauty.
patience. 325. Tesla is going slowly. Again, look at my chart, guys. Daily chart on Tesla. Back in November 27th, 2024, and February 11th, we have this bounce around to 325. And it looks like it's really getting there. So I'm going to be ready with TSLL for a potential launch around 325. I think TSLL, when Tesla hits 325, I think TSLL would be around 1680. Then we'll take a long on that. I just hope that we get there and it doesn't bounce below before that. Yeah, there you go. All right, so 1680. Come on, come on, come on, come on. One more drop, Tesla. Don't bounce now. 325. Perfect. Yeah. Yes, one more drop. Okay, so I'm gonna start buying some TSLL here, 1683 and 1684. Stop loss would be, let's see if we can maybe Tesla loses the S4. S4 is at 325. Actually, as a matter of fact, TSLL S4 would be also 1668, so that's nice. Usually they don't match, but because one of them is a leverage, one of them is Right. So let's see if Tesla has another push down.
See if
Maybe
it's got a
not.
bounce in it here. I'd
Yeah, I'm
I'd
long
play
on
this for a
Tesla.
bounce. I wouldn't. I'd play this for a bounce. I would not play this for a reversal. I mean, at the very least, if you make some money, take some off because I
Yeah,
not
that's a good
sure.
point. This is not a reversal necessarily. It could be a quick bounce, so the risk to reward, it's smaller. That's a very good point. I don't see Tesla go bounces back to VWAP, so um, I'm waiting for a little bit drop to add more. Spies at S3. The bar is still going down. Rashid, what did you trade? Nice. Microsoft options, NVIDIA options, very nice. Qs are still heading lower. IWM is still heading lower, very nice. 15, IWM, looking forward to IWM too. Yeah, IWM a little bit lower. I might add more to TNA. $325 Tesla is exactly, you can look at my chart, you can see my daily chart, 325 is exactly bouncing there. Okay, so it's going down a little bit. I'm gonna add a little bit more on TSLL, 1678, and I hope that I can get to 17. So now Tesla is at S4. Let's see if it starts making a double bottom.
So a big order at 320 on Tesla, but again, it's pretty extended from the moving averages. So
Nice walkout. Yeah, PLTR is gonna break 84. I think now that I'm looking at PLTR, 85 is very possible today. Um,
yeah,
I might
totally.
catch a
Yeah, I
reverse
can just see this.
PLTR. Let's see if Tesla can do a bounce here. Again, I'm long TSLL. The average is 1680. Let's see.
Wow, Qs are still selling here. SPY still selling right through S3. Both of them sold right through S3. Very little hesitation there.
All right, so TSLL is
Maybe
bouncing back.
here
Tesla
on
is bouncing back. All right, so that's the bounce that I wanted to get on TSLL, guys. 1695. There you go. Partialing at 1697. 17. I'm getting out of it, guys. See, I'm looking at the Tesla chart. I'm trading TSLL. So this is because it's a derivative. TSLL is a derivative of Tesla. So it's 2 times leverage. It looks like you're buying on leverage or trading options. There you go. That's the bounce that I wanted on TSLL. 1704. I'm getting out. That's a very good profitable trade now. Perfect. Yeah. Did anyone took that Tesla bounce, guys, from 325? It's a very classic bounce from S4. I love
Yeah,
the
nice.
condition on that.
Yeah, that was a
Yeah,
nice reversal.
nice. Yeah. How far is it
Some
gonna go? I don't think
in,
it's gonna go to VWAP. Yeah. Sorry,
I think
man.
it might get to three. It might get to 330. There's a big order at
Yeah.
330 now. Someone put an order there.
Yeah.
We are
Exactly.
getting
So
a bounce
330.
finally on the SPY and the big bounce
Perfect.
on the
Yeah. That's
SPY and the Qs.
yeah. Very very nice, guys. Yeah. It's nice. So again, 330 would be this moving average on 1 minute chart. On 5 minute, we were very bullish. Let's see if 5 minute makes a higher high, higher low. And now 5 minute is kind of shows what's going to happen. This is a good bounce. Like this is a good size candlestick. Um, and I
It's
have
right
a
up to
good
the 9 EMA right now.
exactly. So this is my, positions. You can see my average is 1681 on TSLL. So I have a pretty good average. I can actually bring the short things. So as you see here, this is a really good, I had a very good average. So 5 minute makes a new high. So there's a potential to go much higher on that. That's very nice. Yeah, you can actually see my position. There you go, 1722. This is very nice. So let's start partialing some here at 1723. Perfect. Yeah. Nice. Did
Yeah,
anyone
I'd
on
take some
YouTube
off
took that?
here.
Did you take it, Brian, too? 1723. Yeah, it's perfect. Yeah. So
No, I did.
again,
No, I didn't take it.
Tesla, perfect. Yeah. So putting the TSLL here, 1730. It's a very, very good trade. Perfect. Yeah. It's amazing. Yeah. I love that. Yeah, that was nice.
It was, yeah, it was a nice trade. I didn't take it.
Um, yeah, very nice. So again, looking at Tesla, 5 minute candlestick, we'll see, yeah, making new higher high, higher low. Market is also bouncing, so it's helping.
Yeah, market's
Perfect.
bouncing back here. We really got a big sell-off. Nvidia's coming back to PDC. Nvidia could be like a rejection at the 9.
IWM is also bouncing. Shit, I wish I was adding some IWM down here. Yeah, PLTR is also bouncing at 90, around 90. All right, let's see if this is a dead cat bounce or we actually continue going higher. So dead cat bounce is when the market is really weak. The quick bounces, they call them dead cat bounce. Like if you drop a dead cat, hits the bottom, might maybe pop up, but it really doesn't moment. Yeah.
That's the point. Yeah,
So
morbid.
1740, some on TSLL, guys. It's a very, very nice trade on TSLL. So just go kill your cat right now, kill your pet, and then drop it and see how much it's gonna come. I know it's a weird name. Like I don't know, it's technical analyst come up with this, weird names.
I'm watching Tesla here to see what it's going to do. It's kind of stalling here.
Very nice, guys. It's amazing. Now I had a very good day. I made some good profit. That is what we wanted. Like I had really bad losses in the last 2 days, Thursday and Friday. This is also the impact of trading from home. Like when you're in office and you have enough screen, and then you're in a good mood. And I had a good night's sleep last night, so very, very nice,
Yeah, it
guys.
all makes a difference for sure.
So everything is kind of reversing. IWM. I wish I was buying some TNA down there. I was hoping to IWM get to 214. It didn't. Look very close. I was hoping to get to some add more. All right, TSLL 1750 is going. Tesla. Yeah, Tesla is making 5 minute is very important, guys. We're making higher high and higher low on Tesla. The candlestick is super. Now the 5 minute pattern has become very bullish. Higher high, higher lows is a very bullish pattern. Lower low, lower highs is a very bearish pattern. As you see, we were really bearish for half an hour, and now we're getting bullish.
Yeah, SPY and Qs are moving up. Watch the view app on the SPY here.
Yeah, it was a very nice
Baba
bounce on the
bounced. Baba
move.
didn't. Baba did a maybe a 920 here. Came up to came up through the nine, hit the 20 moving average, and now selling off again.
PLTR was a nice bounce as well. PLTR was a very nice bounce from 90. PLTR, the problem with the PLTR
Okay.
bounce was it was at the middle of nowhere. Like, there was no S4, there's no level, there's no daily level. It's just that bounce was in the middle of nowhere. The good thing about Tesla was that the actually bounce was based on certain levels that you can trade based on that. So we had the S4, we had also daily level. So a lot of bounces are not catchable because you don't know you trade based on that. It just randomly bounces back. But even the market bounce back, but Q's bounce back from middle of nowhere. SPY bounce back from S3. So you really need to find the stocks that are selling off, and if you want to catch a bounce or reversal, it has to be based on something, based on a level, based on a specific chart pattern or something like that. Um, um, I mean, it doesn't matter selling that. What was the reason for the bounce? Is it a whale buying or short selling covering or whatever? You have to have some mechanics for taking that trade. I personally really don't trade based on the fundamentals of why it's happening. Like, is it the short covering? Is it somebody buying? I don't know. I mean, I'm trying to put my trades based on the patterns that I am practicing, and I've practiced, and I have trade book based on that. Um, Again, in this particular case, it seems that I got lucky on Tesla because of the whole market bounce back. But I'm still proud of my trade, is because my trade was based on the criteria that I was telling. You can go to YouTube and go and see that. I was telling about, like, in 20 minutes before that I'm considering taking a Tesla with a leverage product TSLL at this level because I have these conditions. I didn't know market is going to bounce back in that time, but I mean, maybe the bounce was because of the market, but I stick to my parameter, and I realize that it's a good risk to reward. It's a good trade. Another way is that sometimes you find a really good trade and you take it, but it's a really bad risk to reward. Like the first PLTR trade and second PLTR short that I did was, I mean, I knew it was going to go lower, but the question is, do you want to hold the whole pullback and then go down? That's why I just quickly covered it. So again, having a system is very important. To having a system, the system for entries and exit. Gut feeling trades like the PLTR short that I did is results in inconsistency. For consistency, you need a system, and for trading the system, you need to be patient. Sometimes not don't trade at all for 1 day or 2 day until the system shows itself, and it does. Financial market has been here for like 100 years, and it's going to be another thousands of years, and that patterns show themselves. Honestly, Sergey, I don't know about the imbalance, to be honest with you. I'm not an imbalance trader. I'm not really a sophisticated trader when it comes into the fundamentals behind the trade, the price action. Like Thor, I know he looks at the fundamentals. Like Paris also looks at the fundamentals of the price action and why the price action is behaving. But I'm not really interested in that. For me, I'm just really looking for a chart pattern and catch the momentum. I don't know, to be honest with you, if this was a short covering or the Warren Buffett is buying Tesla or Cathy Wood buying. So I don't know, and I don't want to know. The only thing that I know is I marked this 325 on. I had this on my chart from the daily chart, and I have this S4, which is a very common indicator. It's, again, mathematical indicator, has nothing to do with the mechanics of price action. And I know that if it's really selling off and we're extended, there is a potential for a bounce or reversal. Um, and that's it. I don't know anything else, and I don't want to know anything else. Again, over complication of your strategy is also dangerous. Like, a lot of people are willing to constantly understand what is happening, and then they get into this, you know, loophole of constantly trying to read why things are like this. I think it's a trap. It's a slippery slope. If you constantly want to figure out every single trade and every what happens, I want to know what happened, who was the mark, who did it. Doesn't really help you that much. You gotta learn to trade the pattern.
So I shorted Tesla while you were talking at the V when it hit the VWAP. So
Tesla
perfect
went to
VWAP
VWAP?
rejection. That
No, no,
yeah,
no.
hit the
Tesla?
VWAP and then rejected. Yeah,
Tesla didn't hit the VWAP. No, you mean the
yeah.
moving averages?
Oh, hit the. Wait a second, maybe I've got the wrong. Yeah, no, it was a 20.
Yeah, 20.
Sorry, that was a
Volume was losing.
920 trade. I thought it was actually a VWAP trade, but I've got my. It's funny. I've got
Slowly
got
losing.
my colors mixed up here.
Yeah,
So
it's
I
a
did a
920. Could be
920
an.
trade.
Yeah,
Yeah, it
it's a
was a
920.
perfect
Yeah, it's like,
920 trade.
yeah, it's 920. It's perfect 920 trade. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know why that chart. I've got to change that chart.
See what the market does. Funded account. Nice. George, you made nice couple of $100 on the funded account. Nice. Congratulations. Yeah. Funded account is the perfect, guys. I mean, risk nothing, trade, learn how to trade on my risk. Yeah, it's amazing, George. Yeah, very nice. Just don't lose it. Suzanne, is there a trading
Yeah,
limit on a day?
that's the
No, I
key.
don't think no. So
That
Will, the
is the
funded
key.
account
Don't,
is 50K buying power. Sorry, bro.
yeah, it's just say just don't lose it. Keep your honor your stops.
You soon very
Go ahead.
realize that, guys, trading is not about making money. Trading is about keeping money. Um, I mean, we see that everybody going through these programs and learn how to trade, and they make money, but they can't keep it. Um, the whole people that you see actually that stay in the community, like Jared, Brian, Pierre, Phil, Paris, Tor, and stuff. These are the people who stay. These are the people who know how to manage their risk. They have one common criteria, and they're all managing their risk. They all get stopped out. And you can have a word for your getting stopped out. Fuck, use the F word. It's okay. Fuck it, get out. There's nothing wrong with having that, releasing that stress, because it is anxious. Like, release that stress with the F word. I don't know, just throw your phone down and accept that loss, because it is stressful. I don't know if you want to do the shot of tequila. Brian, I remember that he was doing a tequila. I drank during sometimes trading it from the stress, and not anymore, but I used to do that. So it's just, you have to release that stress and accept that fucking loss. And it's okay if you use F4. Um, uh, you soon realize, I want everybody goes through this funded account program to know that how trading is easy and difficult at the same time. We have been successful to develop certain strategies that works for everybody. I know Variable Traders has been super successful in teaching people how to trade, but I think we can do a much, much better job into helping you to know how to keep the money. And I think that's the missing point in our education right now, that how we can actually help you to keep the money.
Very important. I think it's just really important to have a trade book, a trading plan, and just stick with your strategies. It's just that's kind of the recipe. Like this, like fortunately, I kind of screwed up with my lines here, but this 920 trade and VWAP trade are both trades that I like to do. So this was a nice rejection on Tesla. at the 20 EMA. So we might be putting in a higher low on Tesla. So probably I'm just out of that trade now.
Yeah. I'm still long on
I'm watching
TSLL.
the
I don't know if Tesla
yeah.
wants
I'm
over.
watching the SPY right now. It's sitting right at the VWAP, right underneath it. We kind of came up to it, rejected it. Now we've pulled back and done a higher low. Let's see what it's going to do now. We may be getting into some choppy price action here. Tesla still
So
has some big
Tesla,
orders here
yeah,
to the
Tesla.
downside.
Again, guys, you can in my chart you can see that my trade on Tesla TSLL. So again, my stop loss is now the break-even point. So we are reaching to a point that means the market seems a little bit indecisive. So we might actually lose the trend now and start chopping around. So I hold it TSLL. I don't have a lot. I have only 5,000 shares left. So I'm holding this 5,000 shares, see what's going to happen. So Haydar is asking, you've been flat for almost 3 years, no green or red. Is that okay? Because I'm not giving up. I think not losing is a very big step in trading. Now the question that you have to ask is it worth continue doing that? Like how much time is taking trading from you in life and the energy from your family and your career? For me, it didn't take much. Like, because I was living in Vancouver, I was waking up in the morning, I was trading. And usually by around this time, when I was learning about trading back in 2013, 14, I would have been either up or down, and I would have finished and go to work. So it didn't impact my career that much, so I could drag it as much as possible. But if you have gone all in trading and you want to, you sit down and you want to continue trading and stuff, then you have to ask these questions: is it worth it or not? Should you focus on something else? This is something very personal, but definitely for the first year, I think probably a lot of people don't make any money. My goal is to help you not to lose a lot of money.
I'm short SPY again on that rejection of the VWAP. Just small size on SPX option. Trading the 6,000 SPX.
So market is slowly rolling over.
Yeah, just I'm selling. I'm going to sell it here. $18. Ooh, NVIDIA rolled over again. So guys, especially on YouTube, we're going to be doing an aftermarket show on Wednesday. We will be covering the NVIDIA earnings report.
I'll be back in a second,
So it
guys. A
should be
quick
interesting.
break.
How do you deal with the up and down emotions? Um, for me, it's just a matter of, realizing that, there's when it comes to trading, oh shit, okay, SPY's going to drop more. When it comes to trading, you're going to have good days and bad days, and you kind of have to, you you basically have to accept that. And some people can't do that. Other people can. And again, this is all part of the process of keeping your losses small and trying to make the most money you can with your winners. So if you shouldn't, if you're keeping your losses small, you're honoring your stops. You shouldn't have big losses to fret about. No, I don't. I don't bother journaling. I do sometimes go, after breakfast, come back up, look at some of the trades I did, and I still sort of I guess I don't write anything down formally, but quite often I'll go over my trades during the day just mentally. And I just try to stick with some strategies. The SPX trades, the SPY trades are um, I think I don't. I kind of just look at. I kind of just read the market and try to figure out if we're going up or down. But for my stock trades, it's always about some level. So quite often about some level or some pattern that's setting up. It's like we are trying to find a bit of a bottom here. We are still in a downtrend. I mean, if you look at the SPY and the Qs, we're trading below the 9 EMA on a 2-minute chart, and the moving averages are still sloping down, but we do seem to be sort of trying to hold a range here. So airlines are up today. UAL, Delta Airline, Boeing, all up today. All right, Tesla's trying to bounce here. It's back at the 20. I don't generally take 920 trades or VWAP trades second time, third time challenge. Again, the Qs and the SPY still looking a little weak here.
Hey, sorry about that, guys. Back here.
I can't remember if someone was asking, were you profitable in your first year? Or I remember you were taking some of my trades and losing money at the beginning. You were getting good advice.
Harsham, so the question that you're asking here is that's why partialing is really important. Like, try to partial like the first R and then get to the habit of partialing at each R increments. Like for example, if you're doing 20 cents risk, so in that, for example, for my trade TSLL at 1680, I kind of risk 20 cents. So I said 1660. And then as you see here, I start partial like 17. That was my first partial. So waiting until the first partial is very important and get into the habit of partialing like 20% at each R increment. And remember that we've done research on that. The paper that we published with Carlo on opening breakout, the best result is coming if you hold all the way to the end of the day. So it means that you have to, like, statistically, we studied that on the market, that the best result is when you're actually holding all the way to the end of the day. But when you're partialing and you're bringing your stop loss back to break even, then you shouldn't really have any stress about losing the profit because you already booked some profit, some decent profit. One thing is that, guys, I personally, for me, I don't know about for you, like people are trade for different reasons. For me, I really wanted this lifestyle. Like I wanted more from life. Like I really, really wanted to travel the world the way that I wanted. Like, I came from family of nothing in Iran. I really, very soon I realized that this is not a life that I want. After I finished my bachelor's, a lot of my friends went to oil and gas in Iran and they started making money. And I mean, nothing really. And then I soon realized that, oh, this is not what I want. When I came to Canada, that was the reason that I wanted more from life. And then, I started working with Brian in the company, and my salary was 60,000 Canadian, which would be like, how much is that? Like $40,000 USD after a PhD, like a very good PhD in a very good school. And I realized that, oh, this is just nothing. Like we wanted to buy a house or apartment. House was the dream. Apartment in Vancouver. I was having a conversation with one of my friends, and we came to this conclusion, like knowing from, oh yeah, there was these government, blah, 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 blah. And then I realized that the problem is not really our real estate or living in Vancouver. The problem is our salaries. Go fix this, because I can't just bad shit about government because everything is expensive. That's what a lot of people do. They just constantly was, Obama, like, but just that doesn't really help you. Go fix something that you can actually change. So that's why I got into that. So my desire was really different. Like I wanted a better lifestyle. And my condition was different. Like I was not having kids. I didn't have any mortgage. Like I had a very supportive wife. And so it's a very different environment. Not everybody starts at the same time. So the goal here is to make sure that, you compete with yourself only, with yourself yesterday. You're not supposed to be traded like me. You can never be like anyone. Brian was unfortunately my first influence in trading. Yes. Sam, it's my first year was loss. Obviously, like one of my biggest losses on trading was again on these leverage products like TNA and TQQQ. Oh, there was something called LABU, which was the leverage product of the healthcare industry, biotech.
Biotech.
I had a big
Yeah, biotech.
biotech, yeah. Yeah, LABU lab was just, I don't, it's not very popular anymore. Is it still trading? Yeah. Yeah, it's not very
Yeah, it's still
popular.
trading. Yeah.
Yeah, it was crazy. Back in pandemic, Brian should have gone into Labu. Look at that. Look at this move. Jeez.
Baba seems to have put in a double bottom there. I wasn't watching, but
Yeah, Mike G, that's a very good point. I had a very supporting wife, and now I'm a very supporting ex-husband. That was a funny one.
still think Tesla's got downside. It's got some orders at 325 and 320 still.
PLTR bounced back from 90. Seems that PLTR has been thinking. I'm still long
Yeah.
5,000 shares of TSLL. ATCH. Seems like a.
Baba's coming back up here.
Oh, okay, Atlas Clear Holding. What's the float on that? ATCH 23 million. Wow, this is nice. Is there any news on it? Oh, yeah, must be news. Wow, 433.
If you want it, I would take, if you're looking for a double bottom, could be Nvidia. I'm not going to take any more trades today.
ATCH
331.85
is going to go
is a low.
ATCH Atlas Clear Holding. This is very, very nice. Yeah, it's in news. This is also short to squeeze. It's going to go through 13.
Which
Yeah,
one's
it's a
that
little
one?
bit tricky to trade. ATCH Atlas Holding.
Oh, yeah.
Yes, MTJ. That's the point. So you partial, and then you bring your stop loss to the break-even point. Yeah, ATCH is crazy. Yeah, popped up to 13.19. What's the news on it, ATCH? This is very interesting. From $3 to 13. And does anyone know what's the news on ATCH?
I can.
Ahmad, yes, you can trade. Without level 2 and order flow, but it's very important to develop a trade book with the tools that you have. Like if you don't have level 2 or order flow, or if you are trading on TradingView or Trading Terminal or something that it doesn't have a lot of capability, then you have to develop a system based on that. There's nothing wrong with trading on Robinhood, but you can't trade on Robinhood like the way that I trade or Brian trade or Thor trade or Paris trade. So you have to develop a system based on that. It's much harder to develop a consistent system, but it's possible. The next book that hopefully will be published soon is about that. It's about developing a system based on the tools that is at your disposal. And also based on what your instrument that you're trading. If you're trading Forex, you can't use our systems because the Forex is a completely different story, different time frame. Like 1 minute in Forex doesn't mean anything. So you have to go 4 hours or 8 hours or daily chart. Again, it's all about developing a system based on the tools that you have. Trading education is not really super exclusive anymore. There's so many available resources. There's so many people that are teaching trading and everything, and everybody's having a different system, and you just have to adopt one or two system and just work based on that.
So ATCH is some partnership with a company called Lockbox. It's a web-based stock loan inventory management platform. Sounds like it's some type of system that makes facilitates shorting stocks. It's only got 660,000 shares in the float. Nvidia is still weak here.
So when you're shorting a stock on the short selling restriction, you get filled on the uptick. You can still, so short selling restriction doesn't mean that you cannot short. You just cannot remove the liquidity from the market. This level 2, this pool calls liquidity. So you cannot remove liquidity from the market. So your order goes and sit on the ask until it gets filled. You usually get filled really fast. Like it's not really. You can use it for interactive brokers. You can use market orders, and the DAS automatically convert your market order to a limit order. So it's not really super complex. A lot of people think when it's a short selling restriction, you can't short. You can. You just have to get filled a little bit. It's like becomes like a pre-market, post-market trading. But usually you get filled pretty fast. So
Yeah, we're
Tesla,
really
Mr.
not
Long on
doing much of
Tesla.
anything. Yeah, they're
Yeah,
not doing.
Tesla.
We're kind of chopping along here. The market's still in a downtrend.
ATCH is moving, but it's pretty, again, difficult to trade this. I think what we can trade on ATCH is consolidation and the break of high of the day, but a little bit tricky. These ones got to be very careful on them. So
Yeah,
Andre
just
Cardenas,
yeah.
we
This
have
is.
a question.
I
Go
was going to
ahead.
say
Okay.
these stocks are, yeah, are really hard to trade.
Yeah, it's really,
I
really
mean, you can
hard.
get lucky and get a pop at the right time, but 9 times out of 10 for me, I'm usually buying when it's dropping like it is right now. Anyway, go ahead,
So,
Brian. Go ahead.
Ashutosh, so we have a lot of material on DAS, and today actually we have also we have a session. Brandon is doing a session on DAS trading, a tutorial. So we have a lot of material on DAS. It's not a super complex platform. Setting up charts and stuff. We have actually a library, education library, both in P Capital and Variable Traders, and it's been like our go-to platform. But you don't have to use DAS. You can use anything that you want. But it's been pretty impressive and very important for my trading success. So we have a lot of courses and material in there, but you also have to be learning, how to play around with it. Like some people sometimes email, ask some very simple questions about the platforms, but you gotta be able to play around with it as well. Like if you can't play around with your trading platform, then you probably shouldn't trade, because learning trading platform is a very easiest step in trading. But when it comes to hotkeys and defining some stuff, definitely help is very important from the community, but a lot of them is just idiot proof. You got to just play around with it and just change and see, oh, okay, it works. And that's why simulator is very important. That's why funded account is also coming with a simulator. Thus, when you open an account with IB, they also give you a free simulator to play around with it. It's very important. Another question was from Andre that so the stop loss here is, so let's go through some of the trades that I did. The question is about the stop loss. I think that's the most important trade that we have. So PLTR, for example, I had two profitable trades. One was PLTR long, and one of them was um, Tesla reversal. So if you see my chart, so PLTR came above, squeezed above the VWAP, and I thought, okay, this could be a potential long above the VWAP, even though the stock was gapping down, but it really squeezed above. I really like this candlestick, and I said, okay, I'm going to take a trade above the VWAP, and I'm going to put a stop loss if we lose the VWAP. By losing the VWAP means that the complete candlestick closing below the VWAP. If it comes quickly tested and go up, I still hold on it and look at it and see what the price action is. Again, I'm looking at the level 2 and order flow as well. As soon as it popped up, again, this moving average would have been a very nice target. I started partialing. I wanted to add here in my chart, but I got to add, just quickly popped up, and I added a little bit higher, popped up to 99. And then because I added here, now my stop loss is at the break even. So, and I got to stop that at the break even. I don't want to wait again, come here, because if I get a stopped out here, then I'm going to lose some of the profit that I had, maybe all of it. Then I went short here, and my stop loss was loss, a close above the VWAP. And in this case, I was really anxious, and I quickly covered it for some profit. It never really hit my original stop loss. This is my original stop loss. And as you see here, it went down really nicely. And then for some reason, again, I don't know why I was trading so anxious in the morning, and I went short here. And again, when I went short here, the first question that I asked from myself is, where's my stop loss? Do you see my screen? Where's my stop loss? What the hell is this trade? My stop loss has to be here, because any pullback could be very normal. You don't want to also get stopped out based on a normal movement, and then it can go lower. And that's exactly what it did. It went up a little bit and then went down. And I realized, okay, if I want to put my stop loss, this is a very big risk for the position that I take. This is a very, very big risk. It's not worth it. So that's why quickly I got out of it. So um, this was a bad trade. It's the middle of the nowhere, and I don't think I traded anything yet. Now that I look at it, it wasn't a bad risk to reward, but it was very unlikely. Like in that time when I took that trade, that you want to go all the way up to 89. Like it's easy to look at it and say, oh, this would have been a very nice risk to reward. Yeah, but I wasn't really expecting PLTR to drop another 7%. You know what I mean? That's why I quickly covered that. For Tesla, the trade that I did, again, risk to reward is super important. So again, the Tesla, we had this 325 on it. I have S4 also on 5-minute chart. I don't have my S4 in the 1-minute chart. So I put it on it's the same value. So I had this and I said, okay, I'm going to take this trade here. I'm going to put a stop loss if we lose this S4. We never really lost this S4 and we got really nice this pop bounce back. And I'm still staying actually in TSLL. I want to see what the TSLL is doing. If you don't hit the low of the day, it's very possible that it's continue going higher. I wouldn't mind even if holding it overnight.
Still chopping here. SPY is looking like it's trying to hold a level here.
Yeah.
I think PLTR is going to 89 and then 88. There's orders there. Still super weak. It's on a short selling restriction now.
LTR is
Sitting
testing
right
the
at
lows.
near low of day.
Yeah. Use the low of the day. SPY, IWM.
Just I just took a short on it. I just said I wasn't going to trade anymore, but
You are like a crack addict.
I
You said
know
no.
it's it's an addiction. No kidding. So short, just under 90 here. It's probably going to bounce a bit just because this is low day. There just seems to be a lot of sellers here.
What's SOXL doing? SOXL. SOXL is down 5%. NVDA. NVDA is sold 5%. Jesus. How was the Warren Buffett letter? I didn't get a chance to read it yesterday. Warren Buffett annual shareholder letter is very interesting to read, guys. I read it every year. It's so well written, so funny, and it's definitely something that I enjoy reading it. So I'm gonna actually read it today and maybe summarize it for the newsletter.
He's been aggressively selling some of his positions.
Yeah, he could reduce a lot of Apple position, but he also adds a lot of stocks. Like
Yeah,
a lot of like
that's true.
I think the FQ thing, like Occidental Petroleum Oxy, they add more.
Yeah,
Like a lot of
yeah,
people know he has a lot of cash, and maybe the market is going to crash. But he also adds a lot of equities, different equities in his portfolio. But
yeah.
Warren
They'll
Buffett is one of the
yeah. He
market
moves
makers.
stuff
Yeah.
around. Yeah,
Well, he's not really using that. It's not a $300 billion cash. It's he's using that cash to sell puts on SPY. I think Warren Buffett is the biggest market maker in the options of SPX. So these are cash secured, positions that he's making low. So they're not really cash. They're using this cash to generate income from it. Yeah, but remember, Dwayne, the simulator
Q's
from
and
DAS
SPY.
is 2 minutes delayed.
Yeah, Q's and SPY are selling off more here. Wow, Nvidia's at S4 now.
Nvidia is sold off crazy. Like this one was up 3% in the morning, and now it's really setting off. So the DAS free DAS simulator from DAS is 20 minutes delayed because you're not allowed to have real-time data if it's not a paying customer. I mean, Trading Terminal also needs to charge for real-time simulator because the Nasdaq doesn't allow real-time simulator. Right now, I'm covering the cost of real-time simulator for everybody. That's for free. But real-time simulator, real-time data by Nasdaq, you're not allowed to real-time have it. So for the DAS free trial is 20 minutes delayed for the real-time simulator. Unless you have a paying version. If you have a paying version, yeah, it's really good for setting up chart and hotkey and playing around in it. But Megan traded Nvidia is short, very nice. Ken is trading the Reto. What is that? Nvidia is at S4. I think on TSLL, guys, I'm gonna get a stop out on TSLL. Yeah, I'm gonna completely out on TSLL, guys, because it's right. Really, I got a really good move on it. And I have a little bit of shares. I might actually do a recap for TSL because this was a very nice bounce on from S4. I might do a recap on maybe for Education Center. ECH is going back up, huh? ATCH might bounce back. Yeah, ATCH could be long. And I don't really trade these stocks, but I've had my own
Yeah,
share of.
I'm staying away from that. That's a good way to
Yeah,
give back the money I made today.
yeah, exactly. I mean, you can trade like 100 shares to be part of the history, but these are really very volatile. Like,
To scratch an itch.
yeah, exactly. Yeah, Lightspeed is a good broker. I don't think Lightspeed pricing would be better than Interactive Brokers, but Lightspeed is a good broker. I think they provide DAS as well and a couple of other platforms. Yeah, Jet, I don't think TradingView is free with the real-time simulator of the stocks. Nobody's giving a real-time simulator for free except Trading Terminal for now. And even us, I have a meeting with Nasdaq tomorrow. They're auditing us and they want to make sure that we're not getting anything for free. Um,
Right. I'm going to get out of PLTR. It seems to be bouncing. I still think it's going to go down, but I'm
Microsoft bounced back. What was Microsoft selling off? Microsoft has been in a very bad range. Like, what is that range in Microsoft? Microsoft has been range bound for 1 year. I'm surprised. Yeah. Yeah, Corey, 15 minutes delay is the thing. Yeah, it's for sure. All right, so I think it's 11. I'm gonna hand it over to Avi and Paris, I think, and YouTube.
Yeah.
And Thor is gonna come for the chat room, guys. It was a great trading day. I had a really, really good day thanks to TSLL and PLTR.
Yeah.
I might do a recap today because I really like the trade on TSLL. I think there are some points to discuss and potentially put this one on an education center. There are some really good important things to talk about on the reversal bounces on S4 that about the risk management, about the identification of the trade and everything. So I might actually do that. And thanks again, guys, on YouTube for me. I hand it over to our friends over there. And ciao, guys. Talk to you
Yeah.
soon.
Yeah. Ciao. Have a good day, everybody. Hope you had a good morning.
All right, thank you, Brian, Andrew. Okay, guys, we're gonna transition over to YouTube. Avi and Paris will be on in just a second. Just gonna turn off the chat here. Thor will continue in the chat room, and then Avi and Paris in our YouTube. All right, friends over on YouTube, just give me 1 second. We're bringing in Avi and. Oh, hold on. Let me mute Thor. All right, there it is. Thor's in chat room. All right, guys. Hopefully, you guys had a great trading day so far. We're gonna get you Avi here in just a second. He'll be coming up. I see he's connecting now. So give him a second to connect, and we'll be right over with you guys. We're trying a new setup because I want to be able to get Avi's screen and also Paris's screen. So when they're both explaining something, you guys can see it instead of trying to visualize it and having some weird back and forth. So hopefully this works. Be patient with us as we try this new thing out. If it doesn't, we'll go back to the regular process, but really want to try this to get you guys a better experience. So 1 second here so we get everything going. And yep, I do see. Okay, perfect. Let's see here. I see. Oh, Paris, I see you're connected. Check out the new link I sent you. That's gonna allow you to share your screen. So I see you connected on the vMix. I want you to try the other link I sent you. So disconnect from vMix and go to the other link. All right, perfect. So he's gonna disconnect and do that other link so we can be able to see his screen, and then Avi will be coming up shortly as well. Okay, let's see here. Excellent. I have TV premium is bar by bar. What's bar by bar? The market's pretty weird today. All right, perfect, Avi. I got your beautiful. I got your video, and then just need, if you do your share, if you share a screen on Zoom, whatever screen you want to share, I'll get that too. And let's just make sure we can hear you.
I can't hear you. I can, yeah. Can you hear me?
Yep, yeah, I hear you clear. Excellent. Okay.
Okay, so do you want me to share or Avi? Are you talking to Avi?
No, actually, I want to get both of you guys to be able to share so we can go
Okay.
back and forth whenever we need to. So, yeah, go ahead and share your screen, and then
Okay.
we'll bring that in.
So that
And
is,
this way, it's easier when you're explaining things to
yeah,
for
I
viewers
agree.
to see. Yeah, well, what are we talking about?
And
Especially
if
the way you trade, you need visuals.
I agree.
Yeah,
Let's
yeah, that's important.
let me share. I'm sharing my screen right now. Let me know if you are.
Okay, awesome. Oh yeah, we got it. Nice. Okay, so that works. All right. All right, beautiful. So there, I got your screen, and we'll wait for Avi to connect. Avi should be connecting any minute now as well. All right, so while he connects, you're all good, man. You're on YouTube. They can hear you. You're live. I'll keep working on the back end to make this look a little more pretty. I got your video, audio, everything looks good. How about on
Yeah.
YouTube,
So if
guys? You guys
you're
hear Paris
yeah,
good?
yeah, Carlos, if you're gonna like crop the screen, include the time and sales and level 2. Like you can crop the screen from here, like this. Like include this three things
Yeah,
if
yeah.
possible.
Just the way we do for Andrew. Yeah, we're gonna do that.
Okay,
Yep.
perfect. Yeah, usually you just crop it only the chart for Avi, but I want the time and sales and level 2 if you can.
Yeah, no, not like Avi's, like Andrew's. And that's the way we have for Andrew. But yeah, we're gonna put it for you like that.
Awesome, awesome. Thank you. Okay, so hello from YouTube, guys. How is everyone doing? Hi. Nice, Fred. Hey, Raman. I had a pretty fantastic day on Tesla, and you guys should be able to see my screen. Uh, and I was able to capture like close to a 10-point move on it. So that's one and done on the day. But everything in the market sold off today. Everything, and one of the things you wanna like, let's talk about. There were certain catalysts behind them as well. So let's like a PLTR. I was thinking of going short. Let me bring up the Epic Pen as well. So PLTR was a great short, something around the 96, 96.5 area. It was looking very weak at the open, but it squeezed to the upside right here and then very strong sell-off. This is usually where the sellers are taking over. And then you're consolidating it. It's like a bear flag right there. And then this is usually a lot of sign where a little big players would pop in. And once it breaks to the on the downside on the low of the day, and that's where you'll see a very quick flush on the downside. And at very similar time, I was in a Tesla as well, so that's why I couldn't manage both positions at the same time. But I was very interested to short at 96.50. I think this was the area I saw a lot of sellers taking over at this point. So PLTR was one of those trades. Hey, Avi. Yeah, I can hear you. Oh, thank you. Thank you. Yeah.
Nice, nice, nice. Cool. Yeah, I caught some of these shorts as well. I caught AMD, Nvidia, and Tesla shorts. So yeah, having a good time as well.
Nice, nice.
All worked out.
Nvidia's was like it showcased the strength at the open right here. And this is what, this is one of these are the patterns I love if I'm short biased on it. Like let us say I'm short biased on Nvidia. And based on the previous day's price action, I was looking to short below 137 right here. What happens is it tries to hold the 137, tries to break out, traps a lot of people. And this is where the psychology of the money market or psychology of the money comes in, where the big players are trying to generate the liquidity by asking a lot of people to buy for a breakout on the upside, and people looking for 140 and then squeezes, and then the volume like that traps a lot of people, comes back here, and the real volume comes here where it traps so many folks above 140 137. So if you would want to trade something around that, have that kind of a price action coming into your favor so that you can trade with more confidence. And this is like looking back, it was a very, very nice shot. So where did you trade, Avi, on Nvidia?
Let's see, Nvidia, I caught a breakdown through pre-market low. So as it broke through just above 135, rode it down to the close to the 134, sorry, 133.50 area. Here, let me share this screen to
Nice.
show you the executions on it.
Yeah, let's see
It
how it
was
looks.
pretty fast actually, and faster than I'm used to. But there it is on the options chart. Should be able to see the chart here. As it broke down through about 135, got the long, and it hit the next level about $1.50 away pretty quickly. So that was rapid. Again, it wasn't, it's nice because it's not, I don't have to hold it for 30 minutes or 3 hours like I'm used to. So,
Mhm.
when you get rewarded quickly, that's always fun too.
Right.
And, Tesla as well was a similar idea, guys. That also happened very quickly, faster than I normally am used to, but the 30-minute chart set up well. And the 1 minute setup, well, there we go. Let's see. We find it for you. Tesla, there it is. You guys should be able to see that.
Nice. Nice.
Yeah, you can see where it consolidated, broke down, and I caught it down in this area after it broke this 130, what's it, 330, 150 area. Saw the breakout pull up and started getting weak again, basically retesting the breakout area. Caught the short and just a fast pop, and really that's about all you need. If I just took that one trade today, I would have been plenty satisfied. But there were other opportunities, and there were still other opportunities that I didn't take. It's just a day where the market moves, and so you know, it's you got to take advantage of days like this when they come.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Today was a very, very good opportunity to short the market, short
Yeah,
certain tickers. Uh,
so many things.
yeah.
Here's something that I didn't take, guys. Now this is where I'm feeling like my heart's broken today. Uh, Microsoft, a nice consolidation in the pre-market, pretty well defined, and sure enough, a breakdown. So on a 30 minute is where I identify these consolidations ready for a breakdown. And if you look at the open, at Microsoft at the open, just looking weaker and weaker and weaker, and sure enough, putting in massive bearish tails right at the open, first 3 minutes. I would have taken an entry in the second or third minute normally if I was looking at this. And look at that drop. That was fun, really fun. But this was, in my eyes, this was the cleanest move of the day.
Hmm.
But you can't catch everything.
Yeah. I
But
agree.
setups are always there. You can catch what your eyes are on. If you see it too late, that means you're gonna get in too late. So don't get in if you're too late. Your move's already over by the time. So risk management, even on that side of things. But anyways, manage your risk, take your setups when they come, and then they come. They come really well sometimes. Let's look at the AMD thing. AMD was a nice bit of weak action today. Again, you can see right at the open, really weak. Again, in the pre-market, I had observed consolidation very similar to Microsoft. And sure enough, as it started to break down, going through the levels I've got there, the 1 minute chart was confirming all the weakness. You can see breakout, retest, all that fun stuff. I think I got it in the third minute somewhere here, perhaps, and caught a good chunk of that. So fun with the options. And I gotta say, it's nice to be done early. Early, I mean, it's 9 p.m. for me, so call it early if you like. It's 9 a.m. for most of you guys.
Yeah. For me, it is 11:13 a.m.
Nice. I was still in bed at 11 a.m. today, so. So, what's up, YouTube? What do y'all want to talk about? Meta was short, yeah, Usman. Yeah, it was weak, but I gotta say, man, Meta. I have eyes for Meta. You guys know that. Like I'm always watching it. Um, the action was good. Again, consolidation breakout. But if you observe the 1 minute, how would you manage risk? How would you get in? Where would you get in? I'd say perhaps here in the fifth minute, maybe on a short. It's a tricky one. And then to manage that trade as it's wiki. A lot of candles are wiki on both sides, and then you have a couple of aggressive drops and it gets wiki again. So yeah, you could say it's cleaner than it usually is, but it's still tough. It's still not simple to manage. If you're actively managing your positions, it goes against you a lot. Every 10 seconds, it's like it's moving against you, but then it goes further in your favor. So those are the things to be aware of when you're playing chop, or not chop, but things that are moving wildly. And meta generally moves wildly more than it moves smoothly, right? So those are things to watch out for. Raheb, what are you saying? You got trapped by two candles at the start of Tesla. Oh, yes. You see, that's the thing about the open. The first 2, 3 minutes, you really want to trade that stuff. I mean, it's wild. It jumps around. And sure enough, if you sit out a few minutes, have a 5 minute rule, you don't touch it, what you'll be able to identify is the opening range. And usually 3 or 4 candles will help you identify the opening range. And Tesla was pretty well identified. By the top of the third candle and the bottom of the first candle, you get the idea right there. And then you have an obvious breakout. Even on this candle here, 948, it breaks the low of the opening range. Next two candles basically do retests of that low, that previous low of day. And those are opportunities to enter, right there. So just sitting out a few minutes helps too. Helps a lot. So things to think about if you're getting chopped up in the first few minutes. Maybe you want to avoid the first few minutes. All right. So plenty to do, plenty of fun there. Richie, you want to know why I moved to 30 minute and how I use it? I moved to a 30 minute to get, well, for one thing, to get more higher conviction trades. Like I used to trade the 1 minute, the 5 minute, and looking for setups on those. Nothing too wrong with that, except on these smaller time frames, especially the 1 minute. It's like you get a lot of false positives. You get three opportunities to short it. You stop out on two of them. Another one, you get a long opportunity 5 minutes later. You think you should reverse it. It's just all that happens, and all of those are actually valid patterns for the way I see things. But you take a lot of trades, you take a lot of stops. It's exhausting. You still make money. I still made money doing that, but I'd rather, make it easier. 30 minutes, so fewer candles, less opportunities, higher conviction opportunities. You're basically looking at bigger stuff. And also, measured move stuff, you can look at bigger moves. You try and get in and target the next 30-minute candle, for example. So it helps with trading less and more conviction on the trades you do take. So I like it for that reason. The strategy I'm using is just fractal patterns. Nothing new stuff I've used over the years. I've done many webinars about this. I've spoke about it in Vancouver last time. We'll speak again about it in Vancouver this time with more detail, different details. So make sure you come. We'll be going through this stuff. It's gonna be fun. Vancouver's gonna be a blast, and we're going skiing and snowboarding after. So there you go. Fun, fun.
So one of the questions Lan is having, what are two yellow lines on my chart? Those yellow lines are VWAP. One is with includes the pre-market, the other does not include the pre-market. The orange line that you see is does not include the pre-market, and the yellow does. And they would, in an ideal scenario, both of them would match, but only when you have a big gap up or gap downs, that's when it would not align by itself. So I like to keep them both just to understand where uh, uh, the buying or the selling is.
I love it, Paris. We have opposite perceptions on things. You want to put two VWAPs. I don't even want one.
Yeah.
I got nothing.
And I think that's the way, people trade differently. Everybody has different nature. You don't even use time in sales or level two, right? But for me, it is like one of the major, uh, uh, my skill or my edge comes from tape reading. So yeah, I think two different people still can make money depending on what your nature is and be successful.
Yep, absolutely. You got to find your edge and the way you perceive things. You got to align your strategy to match with your personality. And then you have harmony. Then it's sustainable.
Agreed.
Bilal, yes, I'm putting levels based on the 30-minute 8 a.m. candle. So measured moves off the 8 a.m. candle. I'm not doing anything else for levels these days. There you go. So, what was a big missed opportunity today? I just totally forgot to even watch it. Normally I watch it. It was this SPY, a massive opportunity where if you look at the 30-minute range, the pre-market range, basically a big consolidation and then breakout, you can see where the breakout happened. Now, if you go into the 1 minute chart, man, this is something I would have taken if I had eyes on it. It started to break out about 7, 8 minutes after the open, and it gave you about 4 minutes of opportunities to enter the short. Anywhere in this area would have been all right with a stop right above the price action. It's basically breakout retest of the breakout area, and then you're in this with SPX put options. This is enormous, like a massive move. Anyways, something that didn't take, but you can't take everything all at once. So there you go. There's always opportunities, guys. Always. And if you don't get one today, come back tomorrow. You'll find more. But even without all the indicators and stuff. And I have actually got a very strict trade book. I still find 5 or 6 or 10 opportunities every day, even sometimes. So, stick to a trade book. Fix one, find one, stick to it. And then FOMO shouldn't have a place because the market is a gold mine. There's opportunities everywhere. All you got to do is show up. Just show up and stay disciplined. That's all there is, really. Cool. Sun Sui Entertainment. Fractal patterns or patterns within a patterns. Again, in BBT in the Education Center, I put out a video on that last week, 2 weeks ago already. For the $1 subscription, you can get full access to that whole Education Center. And the most recent video in there is the one I put for fractal patterns. The quick and dirty of it is I'm looking for a pattern within a pattern. So on this chart here, on the 30-minute on the SPY, basically I'm seeing a consolidation and a breakout. So then I zoom into the 1 minute, I'm looking for a consolidation and a breakout. That's it. Patterns within patterns, just like in nature, fractal patterns. That's all there is really. And then there's more nuance, of course, but that's the basics of it.
Yeah, Lan,
Yasmin.
I think one of the questions, sorry if I misunderstood your question. So those yellow lines that you had seen on my chart were like support and resistance from a 30-minute chart. And yeah, so those are just support and resistances.
Actually, Paras, I think you were the first person I ever saw use a 30-minute chart a couple of years ago, I think.
Yeah, yeah.
No, very few use it. Yeah.
Yeah, for shorter time frames, I think it really, really helps me. I think you use it now very efficiently, and you trade based on that. But yeah, they work really good if you're a short-term trader.
Yeah, yeah, absolutely. There's enough candles to get us set up within the day, and actually quite a few. And it's not too big, and it's not too small either, where it's irrelevant. So it's got that. Cool. Michael, no, I did not study Elliott waves. Well, I studied it, but I never put it into action. There are places where I found it to be useful. I experimented a little bit and decided that this is a bit easier. So there's a place for it, I'm sure. Adrian, what, Paras and me are Batman and Robin of trading? Are you serious? Well, I'm Batman. How about that? If we're doing this.
Like then who is Batman and who's Robin?
Don't start a fight now. Oh man. Cool, cool.
But thank you, Adrian.
Cool, cool. Yasmin, you're not able to see my chart. Anyone else not able to see my chart? I see my chart on YouTube.
I do too. I see your chart.
Yeah. There we go. Cool.
All right. The short colors decide who is, yeah. Good catch, James. I didn't realize that. So you're the Batman.
Oh gosh. Oh. Yeah, I don't think I'm superhero material, guys. I'm just nah. 80-20 dictates go relax, don't go fighting people. There you go. There we go. Anyways. Eric, you're saying Emirates Airlines nonstop from Dubai to LAX flies through Russia. Yes, it does fly through Russia or over Russia, over the North Pole, actually. Yeah, man, I do that flight regularly. It's a long flight. There you go. Adrian, you want to have a chat about Tesla? Oh, I already talked about it. AB, Fibonacci lines. These are not Fibonacci lines. What are they called? Anyone want to guess what they're called nowadays?
Avinachi.
There we go. Thank you, Robin. Much appreciated. Sorry, first. Oh man. Yes, Avinacci lines. Actually, guys, they're very silly. They're very simple. There's nothing to it. It's just the 8 a.m. candle, mark the high and low, measure that distance, and then draw lines further down and further up on your chart at that same distance. That's it. These are basically 8 a.m. measured moves, 8 a.m. candle measured moves. There's nothing to it. That's how I situate it. So, and I trade based on these lines. Yeah. Nvidia is interesting. Look at that Nvidia. I mean, it's not a strategy
so
I
I
trade,
think,
but
yeah. So there are a couple of questions on how I traded Tesla. So let me go back and showcase on what was what were the thesis of mine, and then how did I execute it. So let me see if I can showcase chart. Carlos, if you can move to my chart, and then go in detail about what I did on Tesla. Perfect. So now let's look at, if you guys can see my screen. So if you look at the way that Tesla has been trading, right? Tesla has been trending lower. So this is basically, they're trending on the downside. How do you identify a trend? They're going lower lows, lower highs. And as and when, now it broke out from a very important level, which was trying to hold for multiple weeks, was this around 375 area. Now, it sold off, and this is also called as a dead cat bounce, which is it pulls back. It did not, ideally I would have loved to see it pull back to 370, but it got rejected at very close to 368 and then sold off on Friday, right? And now what I'm thinking is the entire thing, the way the price action is on the daily chart is that it is weak. It has already bounced from it, rejected at the pullback, and now it's selling off, right? Now, I am gonna go into the deeper level. One thing that I can tell is I wanna short it for a break of, which is usually the low of this thing, which is around 325, something around this area, right? So now let's go into the 30-minute chart. On a 30-minute chart, what I can see is that, of course, it bounced from the 320, 325 right here. It bounced here. It consolidated in a very tight range, which is 360 and 350 or 348 area. And it sold off from 350, 348 area. I was thinking if it gives me around like 348 or 350 pullback, maybe around this area, then I would love to short that area because it could be a very good price action standpoint. And note that the price action, the way the stock moves is basically in cycles. So it would drop, then it would pull back, then it would drop, it would pull back. And you don't know if it's going to pull back to 345. You don't know if it's going to pull back to 348. You don't know if it's going to pull back to 350. But there would be the more and more a decent pullback would be this. If it tries to go up and hold at higher prices, that means it's not a short now. Now it's going to hold at higher prices and eventually it's going to go up. But if I see now on a shorter time frame, what I'm thinking is I would love to see a pullback from here. And today in the pre-market, it was gapping down, but there was a very strong buying pressure just before the market opened. So it bounced from 332 to 345. And this point, I was thinking, if this is like, now let's go into the pre-market. This is what happened at 8:15, 8:30. I don't know what the news was, what made people buy it, but I said that if this is a valid buy, then it should hold the 343 area. Because if it's holding the 343 area, then if it's a valid buy, if it's not a valid buy, it would drop and then it would trap all the buyers who stepped in here. All the buyers who stepped in around these areas, they would be trapped. And then it would lead to a very good extension on the sell side. And I would be in the money if I'm able to capture a good entry on the short side. And I waited for it to give me some indication. In this case, if you look at this, the stock dropped and now it's holding below 343, which was the area which was holding this area. And now this is the area it is holding. Now I'm looking for two things. One, maybe find a trap. And this is now, it was very clear that this was the support and resistance. This was the range that it was being formed. This is the area that the candle was trying to be. And now what I want to do is when you want to short it, I want to short close to 342 and short at this resistance and buy at the support. And this was close to the PDC was the support area. And that was the whole intention that, okay, the character of a stock has changed. All the buyers are now people who were buying here, they're now trapped unless it pops up above 343 and holds. I am still very short biased. And if it continues to drop below this, then the extension would lead all the buyers who were trying to buy here will be trapped, and it would lead to extension on the downside. And my target was 330, was around this area. I left final exit at 329 because this was too extended in a very short period of time. It could have easily bounced to this area and then hold it and then sold off again. So that was the whole intention on how you can create a game plan out of a daily and a 30-minute chart. Use the the psychology behind the buying and selling, and read the price action on a very short time frame on this thing. Like if in this case it was finding a channel, but it would have, if it was strong, it would have easily popped up by now. But if it was not, and when the tape got very aggressive, if you see, I did not take, I could have traded here, I could have traded here, but if you see the volume right here, the volume ticked in around this area. The volume, this is where it helps you reading the tape and avoid those entries at the wrong areas. I did not see seller around here. There were lower volume on this, and the tape tells you that. When the sellers gets aggressive, the tape on the time and sales will tell you that, okay, I'm getting aggressive. And the second I entered, there was no pullback. It very quickly moved in my favor. I'm always on a driver's seat. I don't have any hesitation to, the stock moving around my break-even price, because very quickly it moves in your price because you're taking your decisions based on the tape. And it was like I told you, it is not just on the tape. The final, decision or execution is based on the tape. If tape wouldn't have confirmed me, I wouldn't have taken that trade. But after all the game plan, after all the thesis aligned with me, that's when I went short here after seeing confirmation of the tape. And then it's a matter of scaling out on this. And this was a very quick from 341 to 329. It's a 12-point move, which is a very good move on a Tesla. And my first exit was close to 1:2 risk reward. I was risking $1 around here, and then my exit was around after $2 around away from the price, my entry. And then I scale out 5%, and my major exit was major exit at 335 and 330. Those were two important levels that I was looking at. And and that's how I scaled out. Looking back, it went to 325 as well. My final exit was 329, but all you're doing is you're capturing the meat of the move. And the meat of the move was this. Sometimes you'll capture, this is where I started seeing, the bias trying to take over. Like here, in this case, the bias trying to take over in this case. So I was like, okay, let me get completely out of it. So yeah, so that's my trade on Tesla, and a detailed analysis of what my game plan was, how did I execute it, and a step-by-step process of capturing the meat of the move. So yeah, that's it.
Nice. Great job, man. Love the detail. Love the attention to detail, man. That's the way to do it, really.
Yeah, thank you. And hope it's it's adding a lot of values. Like, are we sharing this? Like, what is process is? I'm sharing what my process is. The whole idea is to use it and not blind. How do you increase your odds in your favor? If you have a certain criteria that you wanna use to your trading, that's how you increase your odds. Like today, Andrew had a criteria of how he wanted to buy at that 325 level. And he was talking about it like 10 minutes or 20 minutes before it, that this is, if that happens, I'm gonna do this. Because he had a specific criteria. Does it match my criteria? No. It did not make sense to me at going ahead because I don't have a criteria for it, but he does. And that's how you have to have different set of playbooks that you can play around. And I'm really bad with capturing the bottoms or the tops. And that doesn't matter, that doesn't include in my criteria, and that doesn't include in my playbook, and I would not take it. But also create your own. Learn from everybody, but create your own, that what is your criteria? What makes sense to you?
That's it, guys. Yeah, you got to find your way, because really everyone's got different personalities, different temperaments, different appetites for risk to reward, different patience levels. You got to build your trade book around that and find your edge within that. And so that's where, you got to take the time to do that. That's the learning curve. You got to survive that learning curve. Take your time with it, and then you end up with really your own unique style. Like, it's amazing. And then you can just do it consistently and it's in harmony. You're not fighting yourself. Everything makes sense, everything aligns, then you put it on. If it doesn't make sense, don't put it on. Even though other people might put on trades. So, yeah, really, really important. That's the first couple of years right there.
Yeah, and people there was a question on the chat room about like the guy was 3 years into the trading and he wasn't making money. Guys, I did not make any money. I lost money for 3.5 years. It takes time. It's not a get rich money. Like I thought I was a smart guy, going from like working for a multinational company and a great engineer, very data oriented, very analytical, but I struggled, and everybody has their own demons and psychological issues. Like I thought I was smart, but it hurts when you are spending so much of time and you're so passionate about something and still not able to make money out of it. So, and if you are passionate about something, and you will find a way to make it work. So, yeah, and thankfully, and I'm very lucky that it worked out for me. Uh, but yeah, I would, if you are really into it, if you're really passionate about it, there's a huge difference between addiction and passion. A lot of times you just want to trade because you are addicted to trading, versus maybe it gives you an adrenaline rush and you do not want to work on your stuff after the market is out, like after the market is closed. That's not passion. Passion is something when the market is closed and you're trying to review and learning every single day. If question yourself, a lot of people can get confused between, oh, I want to make money and I want to get into trading and I want to trade every single day, versus working at the back end after the market is closed and learning from it. If that's what interests you, that the more you what's the quote, Avi? The more you sweat in practice, the less
Yeah.
you bleed in war, something.
Yep, exactly. The more you sweat in peacetime, the less you
Yeah,
bleed in
yeah,
war. Yep.
yeah. So, and yeah, that the same thing with sprinters, like the 10 seconds or a 9 second sprint on 100 meter. You know how much of practice they had to do for the 9 seconds. It's crazy. And same with trading too. Trading is a performance sport, or performance game. So you have to perform little less, very less in the market than you have to work at the back end.
Yeah. Big points there, guys. Even me, first 3 years, didn't make money. I actually quit at one point, came back 6 months later. And it takes that kind of time. And there's a big difference between addiction and doing it right. You have an addiction, go to Las Vegas, go get that out of your system. But you want to be here, this is not Las Vegas.
Yeah.
You got to get do the process. Look at it when the market's closed, because when the market's closed, you're not going to get stimulated or triggered by the market. Great time to review. Trading Terminal has the replay mode. I get my mentees in there all the time. I go in there all the time trying stuff out. You got to do that. Look at your past trades. Look at them when you're in a different frame of mind, like you slept overnight, and see what you really did. Those kinds of things. And that's the process. And again, yep, passion for sure, man. For sure.
Yeah. And Samuel, just to answer your question, you do not get the paid course access if you're an elite member. You have to, it's a separate a website as well. Like Trading Terminal is a separate place where you can buy courses depending on what you're like, where you want to focus your trading on. Like Avi has a course, I have a course where you can get access to, but elite member basically gives you access to the chat rooms. There's like every single like time frame, there's a moderators speaking all day, and plus you have like webinars on a daily basis to get access to you. So check that out. Those are two separate things. So no, if you are looking for a course, you have to get it separately, and access to elite membership is a separate as well. So Bilal, so Avi, you have a question, Bilal, from is that do you pay attention to Greeks for your option trades?
Greeks. No, no, I went to Greece this last summer. That was fun. And I paid attention to some Greeks there. They were good boat drivers, went fishing. Well, that's as much as I know about Greeks, really. Oh shit, I don't even look at it. I can't tell you anything about Greeks. Those philosophers were cool. Aristotle and all them. They were fun. But no, none of this stuff. None of this options Greeks, no. You need that for putting on overnight spreads and things and verticals. I do that from time to time, but not recently. For what I'm doing, it's really just price action, intraday, long, short. That's it. And that's all there is. There you go, Atif. Yeah, 80/20. Greece is
Atif, are you the same Atif who I shared the room with in Colombia? Uh,
Yep. It fell down the
yeah, you're
pool.
the same Atif, yeah. Man, that was crazy. That scared us.
Oh man. Well, there is also that story where it was Atif and myself and two others were in the car in Colombia and the car wouldn't go up the hill. We were just too much weight. I was like, oh man. I had to walk up the hill with these guys. It's like, come on. We just squeezed into a tiny little car. Yeah, so different from North America. Oh yes. Fun times. Dave, it's all Greek to you. All Greek. Well, take your time. You're learning a new language, the language of the markets, right? So take your time. Takes a few years. Show up every day. That's the key. Get the screen time in. Most important thing. Bilal, is it irrelevant to day trading? Well, Bilal, I think if you look at the Greeks for day trading, at least the way I'm doing it, yeah, there's information you can get from it that might be useful. But I kind of get the information I need from other ways. Basically, I want to get into a contract that's very close to the money. If I want to go in the money or out the money, I'm getting into a contract that's very close to where it is right now for the liquidity, the spread, those reasons. Also looking at strike prices, sorry, looking at expiry. I'm just trading the nearest expiry, which is, weeklies. Then you can trade zero DTE as well. Zero DTE is at 0 days to expiry. So on Friday, you're trading zero DTE. If I'm trading early in the day, I'll take the zero DTE stuff on Friday. If I'm trading later in Friday, and I know the move's going to take an hour or 2 hours to go, then I'll go further out in time to next week's expiry. You do struggle more with the spread in that case, but at least you're not working with time decay going against you really rapidly. So those few details. But again, I'm not looking at Greeks for that. You can get that information by looking at the Greeks. I'm just looking at the options chain and hit a button that says this is the expiry and this is the strike price, and that's it. It's on the chart. So just do it that way. Sufbar, you want to know about Apple right now? What do I think? Let's see. So on a 30-minute chart, Apple's been interesting. If you want to, you can see a double top, but it's not a good one. The second one's higher than the first. After a big bullish run, and if you look at a smaller time frame, it's been bullish so far today, and it came back and bounced off of the level I have at 246.50. Since then, it's been bullish. Let's see, where could you have gotten or can get in? You may have found an entry maybe an hour ago at these bottoms, and then again 247.50 about 4 or 5 minutes ago. If your general idea is it's bullish, it's an ABCD pattern on the 30-minute, and off you off you go to break high of day, and the big level up I have is 249.50. If it's strong there, then 250 is reasonable, but that is if it's seriously bullish. So again, the entries would have been, I'd say 30, 40 minutes ago, and also about 4 or 5 minutes ago. That whole area, that 1 minute ABCD pattern, which is a ABCD pattern within a 30-minute ABCD pattern, right? Pattern within a pattern, fractal pattern. So yeah, it was there. Samuel, you want was it 419? You want links for the courses. Okay. So yeah, the BBT team here can drop those links in here for Paras and my courses. They're both on Trading Terminal. Luis, you want to know about Nvidia at the moment with earnings on Wednesday? I didn't even know there was earnings on Wednesday. Thanks for telling me. I'm not playing earnings, So whatever happens now is what's happening now. If there's an opportunity now, I would look at it, but I don't change my trading style based on earnings. I don't trade the earnings, like show up after market and trade. I show up for entertainment, but not for trading. For now, Nvidia, well, it's made a big move down. It's making a big move up. On a 30-minute scale, I don't see a pattern set up that I would trade. So I would just leave it. Generally, of course, it's bearish for the day. It's at the previous day's low now, so an interesting point, but it's not a level on my chart. So those are things to look at. On 1 minute, let's see. Here are a couple of patterns I tend to trade sometimes, but again, nowadays I don't. It's a continuation of a reversal. You can see NVIDIA did the reversal about 1050, went through the level, and around 10 past 11 is a continuation pattern, basically an ABCD that's continued in a reversal, and it's doing the same thing now. Again, about 3-4 minutes ago would have been the entry, about 1140 or so. So you can do this. If you're seeing a big picture reversal, then you're just looking for a continuation in that reversal direction on a 1 minute. They're a bit more complex as far as the patterns go that I look for, so I don't usually get into those. But they're there. It's happening. It's happening now. Things are generally looking upwards for now, but doesn't mean it's a bullish day all of a sudden. It's still overall very bearish. This is the kind of thing on a 30-minute chart I might find a short, 2 hours before the close today. That kind of action. See anything interesting, Paris? I don't see anything that's convincing.
Nvidia has a good volume being traded, so that's one thing. But it's too extended for me to take a long. But the tape has been looking bullish overall.
Bids.
Tesla double top. What is yeah, Tesla. Yeah. Yeah, on a 1 minute it looks like a double top, but yeah, not this thing. It's trending higher. It could pull back to this thing. A bigger picture is yeah, this is just the time of the area, and even this thing, it's like it's gonna touch a lot of prices. So yeah, and the trend is on the upside a little bit on a short-term trend, not the longer-term trend. Yeah, not biased into either side, short or long. It's just gonna be choppy. Goes down, goes up. The real move up's done already. So, and that's why the time of the day is really important too. You want to understand that like this volume on Tesla is like the algorithms trading with each other. But if you look at Nvidia, like this is the amount of volume that you're looking at. And see this, like these are like aggressive buyers or sellers. They're not like just transacting. So if I have to choose between Tesla or Nvidia, I would choose Nvidia than Tesla because just the way the volume, because the price doesn't move without good volume, and for the price to move you need good volume to be in place. So for it to go up or down you need good volume, and Nvidia has good volume if I compare it with Tesla. Yeah, Tesla is just transacting, and if you see on the tape, all the white prints are trying to transact. You see so many white prints. Usually at the open, you will see a lot of red or green prints, but here, if you see, all majority of them are white prints. And usually, as a retail traders, we don't like see this white prints. As a retail trader, what we want to do is we would be hitting the bid or the ask, or we would be putting a limit order or the ask, and they would usually print red or green. Very rare you would be able to be that fast to be able to hit between the bid and the ask. The white prints are usually the prints that are they were able to hit between the bid and the ask, which is usually driven by algorithms. So as a retail trader, it's very difficult to hit between the bid and the ask, and that's one of the indication that it's majority of the tradings or majority of the transactions are done by algorithms right here. It doesn't mean that it cannot move. I still want to see a good volume to be able to trade it and want to see if it's aggressive on either sides. Now see on NVIDIA, guys, you see a lot of reds and greens on the print. So that means limited number of white prints and a lot of red and the green prints. And there's a couple of other reasons behind it. Just because if you look at the spread, that's not major big spread. It's like 1 or 2 cents. But on Tesla, you would see a wider spread, like a 11 or 12 cent spread. So, and that's why algorithms are able to efficiently target between the bid and the ask versus on NVIDIA.
Bilal, you got a question here? Do I always wait for a retest of the level before entering? Yeah, typically, yes. I avoid trading breakouts, so I'm waiting for a retest of the breakout, just because you get a lot of false breakouts. So once you get a retest, you have more conviction. So in those situations, yes, I wait for the retest. I see Apple at an interesting place, guys. If you were long earlier, around this 248.50 zone is a major resistance area. I'm watching it for, let's see what happens. Something can change.
Baba is weak, and I was expecting a pullback because Baba was too extended on a daily. So this pullback is a good pullback. And I don't expect it to drop a lot.
That was amazing, isn't it? It's just been in play recently, going up, up, and up. Lots of opportunity.
Yeah, Baba, and I was talking about it in the thing, and I did play it through options as well when it was around 106, this area.
Nice.
106, and I got exit at 123 or something. Yeah.
Wow, that's a big catch. Nice. With
Yeah, I was
options.
looking for like options. I usually trade for a bigger picture move.
Yeah.
And yeah, I was 120. Yeah, something break off this thing. So I was looking around that. I didn't anticipate that it would go to 145. But 120, 130, I was something I was expecting.
Mhm. Nice. All right, so you got a question here from Lan about PLTR. How would you have traded it and your pre-market game plan? If you care to go
Or
through it.
PLTR. Okay, let's look at PLTR. So on the PLTR side, first of all, let's understand this. One thing is very sure that 125 was a drop, and this drop, I think there was a reason behind this drop. This drop came out for the from 110 to this one was because of the financial, like the cut on the government side. I think it dropped on a Friday late evening. So, one of the things that you would want to look at is when you see some market news or coming in, right, on those areas, a simple rule of thumb is continuation is more powerful than the reversal. Like when there's a news towards it, you would be much better off trading the continuation versus trying to capture the bottom and then trying to get back, because you don't know if you're trying to catch a falling knife, you're trying to catch something that could still be weak, and a lot of times you have to try multiple times to be able to catch the falling thing, right? And uh, on this particular side, when this sold off from 110, now let's understand this. This was the 100 was the important level that was trying to hold. This is where it reported earnings, it gapped up, held the 100 level, and then 100 level is a very important technical standpoint, and it even popped below 100 a day before, closed above 100, and now it's looking, another news is looking for it to break below 100 too. And if it gaps down below 100, that means like a lot of people who are trying to buy at these areas, even at the day before, they're all trapped in a bigger picture time frame, right? Forget about the shorter picture time frame. That's what I would think, that if it's below 100, first of all, it's a psychological level. I want to see a continuation. Maybe, I don't anticipate for it to see a, complete fill the gap in a day, but I would anticipate a continued sell-off, hold here, and then maybe fill up the gap later at 85. That's what I would think on a daily picture time frame. Now, at the open, what do I want to see? The same concept that we applied. So it bounced. So 96 was the area where it bounced from, right? And I want to see 96 and then 100 being a technical level. I want to see 96 and 100 is a very good area for me to see if the buyer or if the seller step in. I would want to use that to my advantage. So I would be looking for, and now I'm looking in the pre-market. Pre-market, it's sold off below 100, holding below 100. Now I'm looking, okay, the best entry is very close to, as much as possible, close to 100. If it gives me a chance, I would want to get it, but has to match with my criteria and setups, right? But now at the open, it was holding in the pre-market. If you look at it, it was trending on the downside. It was also trending on the downside right here at this point, right? Now what it did, it popped up to 99. Because the thing is, if I'm shorting at 99, I don't know if it can go to 100 or go to 101. I don't know if it's how up it can go. It can easily continue to rally, hold higher, and then go higher. So unless and until it comes to the trend indication, I am not going to short it. I'm not just going to blindly catch the top or the bottom. I need the price action to tell me that, okay, now my character has changed and now I'm back into the thing. Now, once it comes back below 97 right here, this was trending lower. Now I want to see, now all the buyers who were trying to buy are trapped, and now it's coming back into the trend. This is where I would love to short it, like 97, 96.50 area. This is where I would love to short, that it is back in the trend. My thesis of short is now aligning. Now I would be looking at the tape to see if I see a continued rejection here. And this is where, all the buyers who were trying to buy above the VWAP and above the range get trapped as well. So it would lead to a very quick flush to the downside, because the buyers have to get out and the new sellers would get in. And that would lead to a very quick move on the downside. And that's exactly what it did. Now, if you zoom in a little bit here, this is exactly, at trending lower right here on this side. And then at this point, when it came back into the trend, and then as soon as it kept rejecting, I think this was a very, very good move to the downside on this side. And then I would anticipate that it would do a little bit of pop up and then sell off again, but it was very weak for it to even bounce a little bit. But my entry, if I cannot get an entry here, I'm not going to chase it. If I have to get my entry here to manage my risk in a much more efficient manner, because my stop loss is going to be about 97 if I'm shorting at 96.50. And that's where, and to capture like a 50 cents risk, to capture close to like, $6, $7 move, that's a great risk reward. And those are the things that I want to capture. Like, those are the real meat of the move. And that would have been my thesis, that I wait for a confirmation or price action for it to come back, understand the psychology of the market, that all the buyers would be trapped, and then it would lead to a very quick move on the downside. That's what indicates, and then final confirmation is where the tape, where the can I point or can I get an entry where a seller is aggressive by the penny? If I can do that, then I would take it. So yeah, so that's food for thought on PLTR.
Nice. Very thorough as always, Paras. Love it. I love listening. Keep going.
Thank you. Okay, I think it's top of the hour. Yeah, let's wrap it up, Avi, and have a great rest of the day, guys. And do join us in the Vancouver meetup. We are having a Vancouver summit, and on the 29th, 30, 31st, if I'm not wrong. And do join us. It's always a great learning opportunity for everybody. People who are experienced, join us. And me, I'm gonna be there. The Avi is flying from Dubai, and he's gonna be there. So join us, and we'll see you there. But have a great rest of the day. Take care, Avi.
Awesome, guys. Thank you very much. Join us in Vancouver. Talk to you all soon.